Yeah, so live kind of close to the airport here, so might be getting a bit of that. And downstairs, neighbour, nice lad from Dublin, from Balbriggan, Dara, has just started practicing guitar. So if you think you're hearing the Kinks Sunday afternoon, like, you probably are.
Fair dues. Well, fair warning, because I'm right beside the main road here, heading up the Ballyholland. So every time a fucking car comes, you'll hear it the whole way from the bottom of the street, changing gear, heading off, and it's just like, pausing and film, start it again. It's the only thing I hate about this house is just that one side of the road.
Moving into this house here now, we have a second bedroom, and I was like, oh man, fucking top notch. That's gonna be a podcast studio. It's gonna be perfect. Window the size of the room, and then built-in cupboards to the other side, so just flat, reflecty surfaces everywhere. Then it's an old ass building. It's kind of like, I'm sure when it was built, it was very nice, but like certain parts of it now are just a bit gnarly. Like, I'd say every day since we moved in, I've had to get a screwdriver out and like just like fucking have a go at something. But
Jesus.
No, but like we love it. Like, I mean, it's a steal for all that. Like, so
okay.
Yeah, so I'll show you around here, but I've got a real precarious setup right now. I have the USB thing looped in round the table. The plug, like the power cord, is fucking at its fucking fullest extent there. Right, let me see. What was I going to say to you here?
Well, man, you saw what it was like in the flat like 2-3 years ago trying to do the podcast. We didn't even have mic stands, like.
No, well, but we didn't let it stop us.
No, that's it. I remember using like a stack of cups and just put the microphone on the top of it at one point, just like it'll do.
I certainly, I remember when I was recording bits to send up the Blast FM, whenever that was like, I only did that for like 7 weeks, but it was good crack. Yeah. I would just get me and the microphone inside a sleeping bag and just fucking, But that worked. That fucking worked.
I actually did something like that about 2 weeks ago. I was finishing off video that we uploaded the other day, one of the commentary tracks, and because of that window, the heat in here during the day is too much. You have to keep the window open, so I had to sit here with the duvet over me like a wee fucking fort to record the audio just to get it clear. Like, so it's the old techniques still work. Like,
yeah, that's exactly it. So let me see, I was going to scribble some things down here before we get stuck in, so I know what I've got.
You've got like a battle plan,
something like that. Yeah. So I was thinking, like, just going through what I thought were the best albums of 2019.
Okay.
Because it was a surprisingly good year for music, like sneakily under the radar.
Yeah, there's some. To be honest, I've caught up on a lot of stuff from last year only recently. A couple of bands that I've never even heard of have come out, so some of their shit I've actually really, really enjoyed last few while. So I've scribbled down. Well, I say scribble. I can't even fucking read half this shit. It's there. It's there.
That's a good start.
Is that the Mandy fucking logo on that hat?
Yes, sir. Mandy instantly became my favorite movie. Like, I was just like, wow, this fucking director and me could sit down and have a very, very long conversation. Like, delighted. Then I also saw, and this was handmade. Like, my woman does embroidery. She was just like, I'll have a go at that because that looks really hard. So
it's really cool.
Yeah. But I tell you what, have you seen The Color Out of Space yet?
I did, because I love some Lovecraft stuff. So me and JP watched it, and not to spoil it for anyone as well, like, but that whole like the two of them joining together shit.
Dude, you're talking to the wrong person. I went to see it in the Rio Theatre over here. Just fucked up, like definitely asleep for large parts of it. Fucking remember like swaying in the seat and all. The place was packed. We're up on the balcony, like, but the Rio over here goes fucking mental for Nicolas Cage shows. Like, people turn out, right? I saw Mandy there twice, right? So the first time I saw Mandy's in a different theatre. So the second 2 times I saw it in the Rio were like encores, where it came back months later due to popular demand. And like every cool thing that he does in the second half of Mandy, people are up and clapping and cheering. And like the one fucking demon that he kills with the sick neck break, man, I have never heard a cinema go as mental. It is the fucking laugh. You would love Rio Theatre.
So basically, as soon as he started making the big ass sword, it was just like, right, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Loving it. And then just people pissing themselves during the Cheddar Goblin and all. But like went both times on fucking mushrooms, because it was just like, this movie is just 100% going to lend itself to that. But then the Rio also does this thing, right? Like right before the show, so they have the adverts on the screen like this, but then the curtains move a little further out just to give you the full widescreen length.
Yeah.
But like all that movement on mushrooms, and then it just for the whole movie, you're just like, the screen's still getting bigger. It's just like the fucking. And then at one point, I was like, fuck, this is getting a bit much. I think this was maybe the second time I saw it, and then went out to hit a fucking little spoon that I had in my pocket for fucking Close Encounters, like. And then, like, trying to get back in, fucking couldn't find the door handle or anything. One of the boys had to come walk like 12 feet from behind the counter
take you in.
out round. Yeah. But it's like, I'm sure that man seemed worse, like, because it wasn't like, it was still pretty bad shape, like. But yeah, Mandy, Color Out of Space, both mental. And I have also there to watch Come to Daddy with Elijah Wood. Have you seen or heard of it?
I've only heard it in passing. I haven't checked it out because, to be honest, Elijah Wood is one of those kind of guys. I don't mind him as an actor. He's like Daniel Radcliffe and all. No matter what he does, like even Daniel Radcliffe doing Swiss Army Man, as different as that was, all you're seeing is Harry Potter staring back at you. So it's the same thing. Elijah Wood, all I see is fucking Frodo. It's just very hard to get that out of my head. Like,
I've surprisingly enjoyed fucking Daniel Radcliffe's post Harry Potter career. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie. Also, like I've read all the books like 7 times each, but I'm not arsed with the movies. I've seen the first 2 and I was like, these are a bit lame compared to like what's going on in the books and like how it all looks up here for me. So
yeah.
I just don't want to get into that. And like now, like my woman's obsessed with them. Like at some point she'll want to make me sit down and watch them, and I'll just be like, no, we'll be sitting down and watching every Star Wars, every episode of Clone Wars, Rebels, Age of Resistance. All of that, like we'll get through all of that first. Thank you very much.
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian's been great, but I was going to say about Daniel Radcliffe is, have you seen a movie called Imperium he did, where he's undercover as a neo-Nazi?
No, but I might go to have to check this out.
Yeah, it's savage. Like when I first watched it, man, right, I was high as a kite. Like I was like well up there. Oh, as I heard this one during the week, as high as pterodactyl tits. And, I thought it was a 10 out of 10 one. And I was like, oh my god, that movie's amazing. Like it's not really 10 out of 10, like it's like probably like a strong 7, but like very enjoyable. And then also at the time I just didn't realize that like is it 90% of all domestic terrorism cases in America are all white supremacists, and it just doesn't ever make the news. Like but it's cool. Yeah, that's a fact. But then the next thing I was gonna say is, have you seen Guns Akimbo yet? It's Daniel Radcliffe in like an Australian movie, but it's like over 18s version of Ready Player One. I thought Ready Player One was shite, to be honest.
I had no interest watching it because all I thought was it's just going to be pandering to every scene. It's just going to be like, oh, here's fucking the T-Rex. Because I'm guessing from what I've seen in the trailer alone, I'm just like, it just doesn't interest me. It just seems to be just like, just properties, just remind you of other films and things to buy again. I'm just like, right, okay, yeah, fuck that.
The whole time I was watching it, I was just like, stop advertising to me, like, you know. Yeah. Obviously on one level it's like, oh, I want that, like I'd love that, fucking have a model of the DeLorean hanging around the place or whatever. But it just, like, for Spielberg's comeback, it was just like, who are these characters? They couldn't name you one of the characters right now. Absolutely could not. Like, but yeah, Mandalorian was fucking great.
What was that other one he made? 8mm.
Oh, I never saw that. Or was that
Super 8? It was really good.
I can't remember.
Super 8, that's the one. Whatever the fuck it was called. It was really good. But yeah, fucking Ready Player One, that's just a weird way to come back out of the woodworks. Like,
no problem.
You've been going through Mandalorian then?
Dude, I seen it in November. We had it in November over here.
Yeah, well, I was getting the streams from. I wasn't waiting for Disney Plus. Not a chance. Like,
fuck that. No, anybody with half an ounce of wit would have had that. Loved it. Like, just at the start, I was like, this is maybe a bit too simple. There's maybe not enough going on here. I will say that I did also think like he could have had the helmet off a bit more. Like, he obviously got paid a fucking fortune to do basically no acting that whole season. Like, and even the bit with the helmet off. Oh shit, have you seen it all?
Oh yeah, I've seen it all. Yeah.
Oh, that's all. Oh my god.
I used to let you have your piece.
Yeah, the bit with the helmet off was like a bit lame. Like, he was all like all bloody and fucked up, and it was like. But anyway, what I will say is, now that I've seen it all and I've thought about it properly, I will also like to just preface this by saying it came out in November here, which is immediately after Sober October, when I just ditched the weed for a whole month. And so when I came back to it, right, which was the first time I'd done that in years, like probably. So when I came back to it, and it's the weed over here, which is all like Vancouver Island grown and fucking Pacific Sunshine turbo weed, like man, I had to watch every episode, I would say 3 times. So like once on a Friday night, like
before it actually registers. Like.
Yeah, absolutely. As part of my Friday night thing, like it was on the Friday night, and then probably have to get back at it then on a Sunday evening, and then again on a Wednesday to make sure that I would actually remember like the plot twists and shit for going into Fridays. But anyway, loved it. Obviously, and I'm almost 100% certain you and I are going to agree on this, the Bill Burr starring Prisoners episode was brilliant. Absolutely the Runaway series highlight. Like the season or episode 4 was cool in the village with the Scout Walker.
That was kind of cool.
But like that fucking Bill Burr, and then the whole thing of like when he's sneaking up behind people and like one shot he's there, you know, the strobing lights, one time he's there, one time he's not there, next time he's closer, and it's just like, oh, that was sick. And then it was just like
just hunting them down one by one, and the double doors on the dude as well,
trying to hold him up, and
then burn.
Yes, and then just by the end of it all, I was like, do you know what? I really appreciated the simplicity there, because I have not given the Rise of Skywalker a second thought, except to say like I'll probably never ever watch that movie again. Like just
I watched the first 10 minutes and gave up, and I was like, I'm not watching anymore. I'm not interested.
Like you know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking Star Wars dick rider for life. Like it's my favorite franchise, but it's just weak sauce. It just wasn't like, it kept trying to shock you the whole bit. Like if you haven't seen it, I'm just going to spoil a bit for you here, but there's a little bit in the middle where you think Chewie's dead and you're like, oh, and it's like, it hurts. And then it's like, oh wait, he's not dead. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And it does that with someone else as well. I can't remember who.
Like
C3PO. Yeah, I think 3PO has a whole thing where they can get into his coding to decipher this fucking Sith language, and they have to find something every second scene in the Rise of Skywalker. It's MacGuffin.
Oh, fuck that.
So like tap into like 3PO's deep core programming so they can translate this, but it's gonna kill him. And he says all his goodbyes, and then by the time they get back at the end of the show, it's like, oh, that new robot character from this movie, voiced by J.J. Abrams, fixed 3PO in the time you guys were away. And it's just like, what's this movie doing? There's no stakes. Like everybody just comes back. It was like Game of Thrones from season 6 on. It's just like people can get stabbed with knives this long, this many times, and they're just fine, absolutely fine.
Just blow it off the fuck done, like.
Yeah.
I will have to interject one thing though, because
I
have to say the only disagreement about the Mandalorian thing is the helmet. I thought that was the best thing for him. Not to
keep it on.
Yeah, because I know the actor, because especially from watching Narcos and all, he's a very distracting guy to watch because he is very fucking suave and all. Like, so you're sitting there going like, you're just gonna be watching him going like, right, okay. Whereas with the helmet on, I thought that was cool because it helps sink you into that lore as well. And man, half the time I'd be watching an episode, by 20 minutes in, I forget I'm watching something Star Wars. I'm like, oh fuck, this is decent. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a wee western. I felt like just at every turn, like, and even the, you know, the little sting in the music every time he appears. That's fucking beautiful. See, this is the thing. In a post-John Williams Star Wars world, that's the hardest fucking gig in TV right now, like scoring a Star Wars project. Like, I think they do a pretty good job on Rebels and Clone Wars. But like Mandalorian was a bit different and a bit more electronic, and it was just like, that's cool. That's cool to see them fucking moving, but not moving too far because it's Star Wars and you want it to be comforting.
I have that one tune, Thousand Tears. I've saved it anyway. From when it actually shows him getting rescued by the Mandalorians. In his wee flashback scenes and stuff, there's this wee guitar number. I was like, what the fuck is that tune? That is tight. So just have that one tune on loop for ages. Oh, it's class. Simple shit, like. But
sweet, I have to do that like that.
But I watched it with JP on the second run, and then I'm dying to watch it again on the third run as soon as possible. Like,
I'm dying to watch now the last season of Clone Wars. I watched all of Clone Wars over the last few months just to be.
How many seasons is there not?
Oh, there's this extra season is the 7th, and like all of the 6 before it have, I think, 24 episodes. And man, don't get me wrong, there are large swathes of it that are pretty shite, like,
Most shows like.
but there are very, very cool sections where like Darth Maul and his brother come back and form an ass-kicking team for a while. There's a bunch of Jar Jar shit that's just excruciating. Like, it's terrible. There's a 3-episode run, I think, in season 5 where you're following around a bunch of youngling Jedis, and they're like teeny tiny animal creatures. They're all talking like kitty voices, and you're just like, oh my god, come on, Star Wars. Like, obviously, Dave Filoni wasn't involved in that episode, you know. That man is saving Star Wars. No Ewoks, thank fuck. There was a kind of a half interesting episode run where they go to Admiral Akbar's planet and they're dealing with like
they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's just like, right, what about that one?
Yeah, they'll take any idea and run with it. But the Anakin Ahsoka Jedi Council drama is always unbelievable. Yoda had a whole thing there last season where he was trying to commune with the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, and like none of the other Jedi Council believed him, and they're all like, fucking, like, Yoda, get fucking back to work, like, we're trying to win the Clone War. And he's like, I'm trying to fucking win the Clone War, like. But yeah, so I'm excited to see the last season now. Accidentally watched the first 2 episodes high as a kite here last Friday night, and it kicks off with a bang. So you meet these new fucking clones they call the Bad Batch, and they've all basically got superpowers. So it's just like, it's fucking great. One's super strong, and one can like fucking, one's basically half droid, and yeah, dope.
What are you watching those on Hulu, or what is it?
I just have Disney Plus, put it on a computer and then HDMI into the TV.
Simple.
Yeah, real easy. Then what else have we been watching? Watched all of Tiger King. Fucking hilarious. Like,
some crack. Although I must say, the charm kind of dropped after about the 4th episode, and it just turned into this whole like detective show. I was like, what the fuck is happening to this man? Like,
once Jeff Lowe hit the scene, you were just like, because you could almost like Joe. There's almost something redeeming about him. But that boy Jeff Lowe's just a scumbag.
Your man can sing though. I'll give him that. He can sing, like.
But it's not his voice. Do you not see the wrap-up show? The boy, one of his mates. So there's like a wrap-up show that Netflix did, and it's all them just coming in via Skype. That's what that was meant to signify. Okay. One of them drops the ball. The ex-husband, the boy with all the teeth, or the lack thereof.
He's got the teeth now, though, isn't he?
Yes, exactly. And he spilled the tea. He said it wasn't him singing. So fucking. I would agree with you. Whoever is doing the singing is a fucking great singer. And the video where they're just feeding the tiger through the thing.
I know.
Brilliant. Absolutely cool. But here, we're not here to talk about fucking TV all day, are we?
I know, but this is what happens.
I know this is what happens. But I've also been trying to read a whole bunch during this fucking pandemic thing going on as well, so I can sit and talk to you for fucking all day about books and comic books as well. I'd say this, if anybody out there is a comic book fan, you got to read Undiscovered Country. It's this new one where it's weird, right? Because it came out last year, and in this comic, the world is suffering from a pandemic. And so it's like it's by Scott Snyder, who's like top dog at DC Comics right now because he rewrote Batman starting in 2011, and it's like changed everything. But Undiscovered Country's cool because America closed off its doors 30 years ago, and the pandemic then affecting the rest of the world, which is basically split into 2 factions, which is like Asia and Australia, and Europe and Africa just fucking going against everybody else. They get a message that someone in America can fix the pandemic, but they have to come in and sort it out. But then there's also suggestions by modern science that America was fucking about with space-time experiments before they blocked themselves off. And it might have been 80 years had passed in America, in American borders, because of these experiments. So, man, they get there, the team's all full of, like, characters, and they're all, like, meant to hate each other, but, like, they have to buckle down and do it for the mission.
Yes.
But they get there, and America is just fucking Mad Max. Like, people are riding around on gigantic sea slugs, and there's, like, loads of weird sea animal hybrids. And then, so they meet, like, a mad scientist that sent in the message. And he shows them a map of America, and it's all done out in all these zones that spiral into the center. They've all got crazy names. Like, I can't remember any of them right now. The only one I actually can remember is Prehistoric Zone. So you just know that they're just going to have to fight a bunch of dinosaurs one issue.
Yeah.
So wasn't surprised to hear that comic, like, as it was being written, like, somebody got the synopsis for it, and it's just instantly been optioned for TV. So we'll get to see that. Will be dope on the big screen.
What is that one that you were reading?
Undiscovered Country.
Undiscovered Country. And is that a graphic novel series, or what is it?
Yeah, that's graphic novels at the minute. So that's just coming out issue by issue. It's not even collected as the first 6 yet, I don't think.
It sounds like it'd be a good, like, fucking, like a radio podcast or something as well, because it just sounds just so out there.
Yeah, they could do that found footage style, you know, like, oh, we just found these tapes. That'd be bonkers. Like, I love those scripted podcasts. Like, sometimes they are the scariest things you can listen to. If you heard the black tapes, wow.
No, but because I went back onto Radiolab stuff recently, and someone was talking about the black tapes, and because I love the old Twilight Zone episodes. Like, your guy from Seinfeld and everything did a load of episodes back in, like, the early 2000s, and I think, what do you call your man? It's not Terry Crews, but someone like him as well was also involved. And so many, like, well, they weren't as well known then in the early 2000s as they are now, like, but that series was great. So the black tapes, though, is something I would definitely have to check out. I think it's in parts, though, is it not? Is it not just a one thing?
No, it's in parts. It's like 3 seasons of like 40-minute episodes, and there's like 13 episodes a season.
The first episode, I think, is it's your man meeting your woman. That's all I really remember about it, because I tried to listen to it, but I just had no scope. You know what I mean? Like,
no, the first episode is very tame. It's just like she goes over there to him, and he's like this big supernatural debunker, and then he's got this wall of white tapes, and it's all like, oh, these are all the cases that I solved. And then she's like, as she's just about to head out the door, she's like, oh, well, what about those 9 black tapes? And you're just like, oh, we're off to the races. But here, I heard there's a good one. Well, I say good, I don't know, it's kind of a rip-off, but it was called Video Palace, and it's by Shudder, the horror streaming service.
I've only seen their stuff recently, because
you've only seen their adverts. They will advertise to you like, fuck.
It's flat out over here at the minute, because there's a series where they're showing things like The Exorcist and all these like spooky things that happened while we were making like The Exorcist, or spooky things that happened.
That's called Cursed Films, that series. I want to watch that shit. But they're giving away a free month right now. I think we should get on that.
But is there enough there to just like binge through in a month and then just like parachute and get the fuck away from there?
I think that's exactly how it would go down, but they've just got some cool documentary series about making horror movies in like the 70s and 80s that you're not going to see anywhere else, which might make it worth it. There's
a documentary here that I actually got thanks to JP. JP loves fucking horror films. Well, decent horror films, I must say. And there's a documentary that got downloaded for him, and it's like 4.5 hours long. And from skipping through it, it seems to go through fucking everything, especially a lot of slasher things. So, what is the name of it? Just around here.
Get me the name of that.
Someone's like, with JP watching this back, he's like screaming the name of it down to me here.
No doubt.
In Search of Darkness. That's what it is. Fucking hell. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh, that's the one. Is Corey Taylor involved in that?
I think he is. Fucking hell. Man, I'm not a big, massive fan of Corey Taylor anyway, but see, after that shite he did with Nostalgia Critic, The Wall, did you see that shit?
No.
Oh, man, it was fucking tripe. It's worse than that fucking Puddle of Mud Nirvana cover.
Oh, come on. I just don't understand how anybody can be looking at that and be like, well, okay, fair enough. If you're not like... See, Puddle of Mud was the band that got me started. Like, that was it. Like, the only tunes I can remember liking before I heard Puddle of Mud are Robbie Williams, Let Me Entertain You, and Ricky Martin, Livin' La Vida Loca.
Man, it was the 90s, like, so you're forgiven, like...
So then it wasn't until somebody bought me a CD player, Santa, and bought me a CD player, and I got, now that's what I call Music 52, and it's like, literally started with Heaven by DJ fucking whatever his name is, like, 'cause you know the one that was the Bryan Adams cover, but it was like sped up and squeaky.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Horrible. And then the second track I remember was the Ketchup song. Do you remember that?
Last Ketchup.
Yeah, you remember.
Oh yeah, the two fucking doesn't. This is how bad it is. I actually know probably a wee bit about them. That isn't one of them like married to like a PM or something.
Probably. I don't know.
You're just like, how did someone that literally it was just two like stick thin Albanian girls or somewhere and just this random song, man. That song was fucking everywhere. They did something else, Cheeky Christmas and shit, wasn't it?
Or you're thinking of the Cheeky Girls.
That's the one.
Wow.
They're also
now we're talking about novelty music.
Oh fuck!
I see that just now that we mentioned novelty songs, I see that What the Fox Say is like 23 million off a billion views now on YouTube. Yeah, and like fair enough, because that song is meant to be a satire of pop songs that don't mean anything. They're just like yip, 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 yip. And then the fucking UK sent it straight to #1. Like you're just like, oh come on, lads! Like there's just even Alanis Morissette wouldn't call that ironic. Like that is just fucking horrifying.
It's you have to admire that they're putting something up that's a fucking laugh, but you're just like, to make a statement, surely just make a good song. Don't just make a song to comment on it. Just make a good fucking song.
Did you hear the Moo Song?
The Moo Song? No.
It's by a rap artist called Doja Cat. And it's like, man, it's weird. But definitely watch it at least once. Like when I first heard this, I watched this video, it had 960,000 views. It was just about to break 1 million, and I think like last time I checked in, it was like well over 27 million views. Like it's just it's weird.
It's just like the musical equivalent of going down a rabbit hole. Like it's just like one of these random ass bands.
Exactly. This one here, like it's meant to be just like a viral meme thing, and she's just like got her tits out a bit and all, and just prancing around in a fucking cow onesie, but she's eating a burger and drinking a shake, and it's just like the main lyric in it is "Bitch, I'm a cow," and it's just like, like.
Hold on, I'll write. Do you know what? I'm intrigued. What
there has to be a place for shit like that in music. That's called. I literally think it's just called Moo, and the artist is Doja Cat, Doja Cat.
My God, Moo. Fair enough. This is gonna be. It's gonna be shite. But
yeah. Watch that after a fat J, like, and you will laugh. I promise you, because like the background varies between the Windows 98 background, the Rolling Hills or whatever Windows that was.
Oh, the most impossible green hill ever.
Yes.
That one.
And then just anime titties. Just like anime titties all up in the background, bouncing and all, while she's like, oh, it's a fucking scream. I love it.
Here, do you remember Lordi?
Yes, and I saw a picture of them recently. Were they doing something?
There's something they put out. This is a random one that actually came up my list recently. Sitting there going like, because I loved them back in the day for the crack. I mean, they're not serious at all. But and the
what
shock
was their
rock
big
stuff,
song called?
Hard Rock Hallelujah, because they won the Eurovision with it.
Hallelujah! Oh my goodness!
But some of the songs were just naff. But they actually did this thing called, was it Collection instead of Collection? And it's just this random mix of tunes. Like one tune is pure disco, like Kiss fucking what do you call that fucking Kiss tune? Everyone whistles.
Oh,
I was made for loving you. That fucking one.
Yes,
that tacky ass one. Well, they've got a new tune that sounds exactly like it's called Zombimbo, and there's another fucking heavy tune called Evil. It's just like the whole album is like every track is just so fucking different. It's just weird to hear a random band from years ago, as I said, like the Rabbit Hole band, actually coming out with something decent, and that's been like 10, 15 years after the fact.
So speaking of music,
yeah, what have you got? Because you've got.
Thought we'd come on and have a rap about good albums from 2019.
See, you seem more positive about albums from 2019 because I have a bit of a mix and of stuff that maybe I've only heard of in the last year, so but may not be 2019 specifically. But let's see what you've got, because you've got a better order to things here than I do. So I'll just chime in.
I think it's kind of in chronological order here, going through the year of 2019. I'm not really sure actually though. But got, let me see, 1, 2. 5 or 6 albums, I think, certainly worth talking about for both good and bad reasons. So straight up, the Rival Sons album came out in January and was just like, hot damn, these boys can fucking play. Like, so
You've seen them, haven't you?
yeah, dude, and they fucking back it up. They walk the fucking walk, like, in a fucking big way. Like, I was actually a little bit blown away by how good they were. I was very, very emotional by the end of it. Like, uh,
Like a grown
they,
man should be.
yeah, well, I had the perfect combination of weed, beer, and just a little bit of mushrooms that day. So I was just like, so I wasn't like spiraling out into fucking space. I was like
You were set.
on a fully tethered moonwalk. I wasn't fucking Sandra Bullock in it. But long story very short, this album, like, packs a fucking wallop. Like, the last album was way more dreamy and thinky and had like one really upbeat in your face track, but it only clocked in at 3 minutes long, and then the other real rock track on it was a cover. So it was kind of like something that I just farted out, like, and didn't really think about.
Do you know? Do you remember what the cover was, or?
The cover of the last one was real, like, well, see, they're kind of similar now, but on the last one it was like a wolf that is surrounded by all this like dreamy, weird psychedelic imagery. But then on this one, he's like in the woods, and they have a song on the album called "Back in the Woods," and it's a real rocker. But it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful album because, like, they make like real good vinyl albums, and what I mean by that is a side A and a side B that have slightly different moods but tell the same story. And like, I just fucking love that. That is what albums should aspire to be like, as far as I'm concerned. And like, when you get that, and it's just fucking yes, and you just like, when you know that then when a band make an album like that, you know that they're fans of albums like that, and you're just like, shit, yes, you know, these guys fucking get it. So Rival Sons, so the start of the album kicks off, banger of a track straight out of the blocks. What the fuck is that single called? They closed with it live too, and it was just like perfect, like, just because it's only like 3-4 minutes, and then it's just like in and out. But it's got everything. It's got a little acoustic lick just right at the pre-chorus, and it's got the biggest fucking chorus on the whole album. It is fucking savage.
Tasty.
Yeah, and then there's like 3 rocky upbeat tracks in a row, but the third one has a kind of a long, woozy, Eastern sounding intro. So you're hitting all of your perfect Led Zeppelin, you're checking off the checklist.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You're not being Greta Van Fleet, who I just don't think have ever really lived up to the fact that they really, really sound like Led Zeppelin. They sound like them, but they just don't have any of their own ideas. And I just think that Rival Sons are Greta Van Fleet for people that read books. So, excuse me, I was just about to burp all up on the microphone. So that's what we got. We got the biggest fucking single on the album, straight out of the blocks, number 1. Then 3 rockers with a couple of different vibes going on. Third track starts with an unbelievable drum intro. The drummer is off the hook. Michael Miley, his name is. He's so fucking good. Do Your Worst. That's what the lead single is called. Fucking anthem. Absolute
just checking
anthem.
Yeah, I'm just getting the names right here for on Spotify just to make sure.
Just listen to the whole album. Don't fucking even listen to me singling things out. So it goes that tune, then into our 3 rockers, and then you have the centerpiece of the whole album, the title track. It's like a long ass, weird, woozy, fucking, again, kitchen sink Led Zeppelin checklist. We've got little acoustic bits. The video is a first person, like, traveling through the fucking woods perspective, and there's like a witch doing black magic at some point when you come upon it, and like, then at some point I think the witch like opens her bag and everything, it's black and white, and then everything turns into color and all. It's fucked up. And then like last Christmas, both my fucking housemates were working and stuff, like, the week in between Christmas and New Year's. But I was off, like, so I was just fucking taking a bunch of mushrooms and tripping out to this music, like, and it was so fucking perfect for the fucking zone that I was in. It was like creepy. It was like reminding me of a bunch of different horror movies. But it's fucking so good. And then live, it was even, man, because it has all this fucking weird ass percussion in it. So like for the start, so whatever the tune that just finished playing, everything just dropped out, and then they like all disappeared for a second, and then every one of them came back with maracas, and it was just all maracas.
Like
And then
bass shit.
yeah, and then like one by one though, they would fucking, so then he would start singing over it, and then like, somebody would lose the maracas and then start picking up a guitar, and then the bass would come in and all. And it was just fuck. It was such a good concert. The Vogue Theatre over here is fabulous, man. A bunch of comedians filmed their specials there. Chris D'Elia's Man on Fire is filmed there. So like,
Fuck, nice.
yeah, it's so nice down on Granville Street, like in the real
This is
party
where you've
part
seen.
of
This is where you've seen the band, though. Yeah.
yeah. So look, and then moving into the second half of the album, what it is it gets more gets a lot more gospel. It gets like fucking like real throwback 50s stuff, kind of gospel, and then a lot of real prominent female background vocals, just putting those fucking layers in, and then it's just, I cannot say enough good things about that Rival Sons album. It's the best album they've ever put out, and I never thought they were going to top that one, Head Down, which has the 2-part 9-minute guitar epic on it, where it's just like minimum singing, Let's Got Holiday fucking solo, bro, let's go.
Just let it rip.
Yeah, so I never thought they were going to top that, but they really have. So it's just like, how the fuck can I not be super excited to see what happens next here? They'll probably have to take an experimental step. You never follow up your best work then with your fucking next bit. Well, I don't know, but it's just fucking hell. I can't believe that a band or this good, a rock band is this good in 2020. Like, I'm just...
They don't do any concept stuff or anything, or is it just...
So like that's the song that I was talking about there from a previous album, where it's like a 9-minute guitar epic. It's called Manifest Destiny, and it's supposed to tell the story, you know, of the Native Americans on the Trail of Tears. So they do have very strong lyrically sometimes. As I say, they're definitely Greta Van Fleet for people that read books. Some of their lyrics are really beautiful. Like in that one, Feral Roots, the title track with the woozy video, like it's a properly good track. And then
just noticed on my phone there that I have that track. I don't have the album saved. I have the track saved, which means you must have sent it to me at some point.
Must have, yeah. Last Christmas, no doubt, when I was going through that phase, I was sending it to everyone. I was like, oh my god, can you believe how good this is? And then it's also just dope as well when you get like a trifecta of things. You get, so it's like a pre-release single, so it's an album you're excited about, and you're like, fuck, I'm definitely going to watch this. And then for it to be, you know, and before the album, so it's out of context for you. And then to also like be a really fucking pumping good song, and then have a video that's A, good, and B, matches the vibe of everything else going on perfectly. Like, it's just, it's an art, you know, and not too many bands pull it off too often, but they did in spades this time. And then
was that the animated one?
No, it's not animated. It's fucking it's just weird. It's like first person camera. It's just, I don't know what the fuck, how they would have filmed it. It's weird.
It'd be interesting to check that one out, because one of the easiest way for me sometimes for me to check out a band is just stick on a few videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pay a bit more attention, because if it's just me sitting listening to music, I'll get distracted very quickly here at times. So it's easier for me to stick on a video. So I'll definitely add that to my list.
So hard to focus on an album start to finish on nothing else these days.
See, whenever I'm doing night shifts, it's the perfect time for me to just sit there and check out some new music. But I'll just leave it on the background because I'm still waiting for calls to come in and everything. So I can't just sit there and like listen away. Like, but that's where I've spent most of the time this year. Probably my best one for 2019 was probably the Tool album. I spent most time on night shifts listening to it. So hopefully enough it's come up on your list somewhere.
Yes, but not in a good way. No, I'm glad to hear that you liked it, because maybe you can pinpoint some points on it to me to return to and revisit. But for me, the problem is that I don't hear Maynard scream once on the album, right? And I never thought that I would have this problem with an album, like, you know, because I come to music from being more of a rock fan than a metal fan, but I find metal more interesting these days, so I'm more inclined to seek it out and listen to it. Like, even just weird stuff. Like, I was listening to Triptychon just before you called, just because I think they're interesting, not because I'm like, wow, I like black metal now, you know? Like, I'm still like a lot of the albums I'm going to talk about are fucking rock albums, but the Tool one, I thought, and I say this about music a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I find, like, if it's worth singing about, it's worth screaming about. So let us hear that. And I love when he screams like, I'm thinking about particularly the guest vocal on Rage Against the Machine, Know Your Enemy, like when he just comes on and do that one scream, which just hangs there for fucking ever, and then it dips. And obviously earlier Tool cuts, but so just the whole like hypnotic, the way how the riffs are all cyclical, and then but how the vocals are more whispered and stuff this time round. I was just like, I'm out. It's like I couldn't get into it. I tried a couple of times, and then I was like, I'm out. I've got too it's been a good year for music, and I don't want to do fucking too many more. So, right, tell me what tracks that I need to hear on it. Then hit me.
See, this is the thing. I don't think it's entirely the tracks, because to be fair, the wee segue. There's only one or two of the tracks in the album where it's like a minute and a half long or something, and it's like just him chant breathing a lot of times and stuff like. But it's always, the crack when it comes to two albums, you have to take it as the album, because you can't really just break down individual tracks at times with it. But I love the title track, and I love Pneuma, because Pneuma is just one of those things. That's what sold me on the album. But the thing with this album, I wouldn't say it's my favorite album that came out last year by any stretch of imagination. I think it's great to have on in between albums, or it's one of those things where it's like, right, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. It's one of those kind of albums. I'll have it on the background and rewire, because as you say, without the screaming, and the guitars and everything do get chunky and get fucking massive at times, but there's no big massive swells that you're used to hearing in earlier tunes.
Yes, like what I never heard in it is
I like the restraint.
Drop the hammer riff, do all ambient for like 2 minutes and then let's go. Yeah. Does that happen at the back half of the album or anything? I've heard. What's the last song on the album? Is it good?
Just going to get
that one Tempest, which has a fucking 7 in it.
Yeah. I think that is the closure on it, but
I don't think I ever even got that far. Such a bad music nerd.
To be fair, whenever it first came out, I tried sitting down just as usual to take it in and review it and whatnot. I think it's just one of those albums that you stick on, that you're just like, do you know what? I forgot that even existed. What's it like? And then you just sit there and it'll give you an idea of something else to check out. Or I don't really think it's intended to blow your head off, because I mean, we waited this long for it. I think a lot of people just fizzled out interest to begin with. It's been so long where the genuine interest for the album to come out is long gone. I think now it's just like, right, it's out. Can we listen to it? When's the next one coming? The one that now you're going to have to fucking impress us with.
It would have been nice to just hear them come back with a bit more of a statement, like. But
to be fair though, the songs so far that I've heard on live clips have translated well. So it's not just the usual Tool tribute studio album where it's constant going off with fucking Eastern fucking instruments coming in randomly. Most of these songs will translate well to the live shows, which is great. So I still would like to hear the classics when I go to see them live, but these songs in particular would be kind of cool to hear live though, because it's not
fucking cancelled their Vancouver date. Do you understand?
Everyone's cancelled
right?
Everything.
Now here's the thing. Right, here's the real fucking thing. I wasn't going to go. Right, the order to work from home came in over here. I think it was the 13th of March. BC, like the province that I'm in, is doing real well. They've only had like 2,000 cases. Like it's proper lockdown here. But like that's what I'm saying. It's being properly locked down, so we're not even in lockdown. But there's nowhere to go because no restaurants are open or anything.
That's the way it is for us. It's not like fucking.
Yeah, not stay at home.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's good. But the fucking day after was payday. They get paid fortnightly in Canada.
Oh, right.
And so their first paycheck of the month is always rent. So that's basically gone. And then the second one is what I call the crack check. That's when we're right. So I was going to buy 4 different concert tickets, man. All right. Monster Magnet playing.
Brilliant.
What's their big album called? Fuck, I'm High. And also, I'd like to break soon to get a couple more hits, if that's okay with you. But I will get through this list, right? So Monster Magnet playing their big album in full, the one that has the track that's in the start of Talladega Nights during Ricky Bobby's success montage. So, like, do you understand? And that was in the Rickshaw Theatre. Like, straight up, dude, if you were ever coming to Vancouver, it would be one of the first places I want to take you, like, is a show at the fucking Rickshaw. It is in fucking Junkietown and
Weekly stuff, is
Bumpville.
it?
Like, it is the fucking rarest part of the city. Like, it was obviously a great part of the city because it's where I go to buy my weed from this place that's run by the Hells Angels, so it just never closes, so it's perfect. Like, and but it's a real dirty fucking grungy venue. But it used to be a kung fu cinema, and it's just like we'll go there
So
someday.
a former kung fu studio.
Former kung fu cinema, so like showed old kung fu movies, Bruce Lee shit and all.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, check it out! Did I not also just see on Instagram some local craft brewery around here doing a citrus IPA called Juice Lee?
Juice Lee. Oh man! But again, I know that's your bag with the fucking IPAs and everything. I've tried to dabble my hand in it, but I'm just like, it's not for me.
Oh, well, look, whatever type of beer you like, you're well serviced over here. Don't get me started talking about beer. Let me get through this. So it's going to be Monster Magnet tickets. Testament, supported by the Black Dahlia Murder, whose new album is meant to be sick.
Testament's new album is fucking
That's in the Vogue. That's where I saw Rival Sons. That would have been off the fucking hook. I was going to buy tickets to see Cattle Decapitation, not because I'm particularly interested in seeing them. They're like a grindcore band, but Archspire were fucking backing them up. They're that Vancouver tech death band, and they play at like 340 BPM. Sometimes it's
so you're just going to see it, like, right? I want to see this shit.
It's just like it's crazy, man. I have never heard music like it. And what sets Archspire apart is that their vocalist is super inspired by like rappers like Tech9 and stuff. So he like blah 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 at like rap speeds. It's crazy. It's one of those ones where it's just like on so many levels I don't like this, but I cannot turn it off. Like, and then what's also real fun about them, if you're a fucking weed smoking fucking YouTube head, piano covers of their music actually sound fucking maybe even crazier. Like, so
is there one dude covering them, or is it like they've got
always one dude just covered it and like trying to like bring little bits of what the percussion's doing, and it's scary. And then I want to say the last ticket that I was going to buy was I can't recall at all. But anyway, those are three fucking pretty good ones. Like, that's a bad one to miss out on. But then Tool were so goddamn expensive. It'll be worth it. If it gets rescheduled now, I'll probably try and grab one. But
yeah,
dude, what broke my heart big time was Rage Against the Machine were coming, right? Rage were coming, and they were backed up by
like
Run the Jewels. Like, I don't know, I know you're not a hip hop head, but like, if you were ever gonna start, like, Run the Jewels wouldn't be the harshest of starts for you. They're very, very fun, and like Zach De La Rocha shows up on their stuff.
Sweet.
And the new album's just coming out, and I see that the guests include Josh from Queens of Stone Age. Like, so they're pretty cool as far as rap. Yeah. So pretty cool as far as rap groups go. But like, it was going to be like end of May, like the sun was going to be split in the skies here. I'm actually so upset. It's been the best weather all week when I've been working from home, and now the day that I could have been sitting out on the deck smoking, whittling some wood, whatever. You know, I need to get a rocking chair for out there, to be honest. But it's so grey and grim around here. It's fucking shit.
Just reminds you of back home then.
Yeah, not in a good way. But here, my fucking trip home got cancelled. I'm fucking raging. We were supposed to be there in September for 2 weeks, having a big party at Narrowwater Castle in the middle, going to Skellig Michael, going to Derry, dude, had it planned to perfection, and now it's fucked. So, got to be trying to come home for a week at Christmas though. So, I'll probably try and have another party somewhere. If not the castle, try and book somewhere just to get everybody fitted in. I'll be a real good lad. But same fucking theatre as Testament and Rival Sons would have been, the venue in this city, The Darkness.
Oh man,
and they fucking did this too. They named their album Easter is Cancelled, and they were supposed to play here on like April 12th, which I think was fucking Easter, and it just feels like,
I think it was,
you know, and I'm at the center of this fucking global conspiracy where my favorite band caused the fucking pandemic, and I just don't know. I don't know what to be at now, but that would be an excellent time to bring up just how fucking good their album was. Oh my goodness. 10 tracks in and out, which I always appreciate in an album. You know, 5 and 5, there's a certain symmetry there. Let's get it done. Side 1, side 2, make them a little bit different. And they did a bunch of different stuff on this album. The first tune, I know that I talked to you about this previously because I'm just like, this is really, really good fucking like music journalism, Donal. You've nailed this. But it's true, okay? Let me fucking shag my own arse for a second. It starts, it's the opening half of Stonehenge, and then it moves into Let There Be Rock. But it's the darkness. Like, it's fucking unbelievable. What's that one called? Rock and Roll Deserves to Die.
Yeah.
Dude, beautiful.
I love that tune. Fucking brilliant.
Then it moves into, there's a weird one, then there's a couple of ballads, I think, and then it comes back into the second half with that really ridiculous one, Heavy Metal Lover, which is just so fucking stupid.
No, that's on Last for Kind. I'm mixed up with something else there.
Decture was on this one. They've got fucking there's another real big one though. Hey, I could look stuff up. I'll have to fucking sit and wonder. Technology is fucking great. Oh yeah, I remember now why the home button on my phone hasn't worked in fucking months. So it's a whole thing with this Sony XA1. The extremities of the screen on the left hand side and bottom just don't work. So you can't press. It's just a whole fucking thing. Like,
I only started getting caught up on the darkness stuff recently because, again, with Night Shift, I stuck on Last for Kind album and fucking Open Fire and everything. I was like, holy shit, where's these songs been hiding all these years? Like,
Mighty Wings, what a fucking track on that album.
What's that fucking I can't remember. I'm going to have to get the fucking list as well now. Because, again, it's one of those albums I would just stick it on in the background and let fucking things play out.
Here, while we're looking for... Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I'll fucking write this down because it's going to take me 5 minutes to talk about it because it's so good and it's not about music, and I'll do that at the very end for you. All right, so...
Barbarian, that's it.
Oh, the opener! Dude, fucking brilliant. When I think when I seen them on that tour, it was... they were... Oh, maybe at that stage, I think what they were doing was they were opening with Barbarian, doing like fucking 5 or 6 greatest hits, and then playing Permission to Land in full. And I was just like, oh my God. Yeah, so I've seen The Darkness do Permission to Land in full, and Metallica do the Black Album in full. I'm pretty lucky, like, that's pretty cool.
That's a good fucking...
And what about in 1 year? I can't remember what year it was. I think it's Last of Our Kind, or is it Pinewood Smile? One of the 2 more recent Darkness albums, and the Ginger Wildheart fan club release, that when it finally got put out on CD, I'm listed in the credits on both, as like a fan supporter.
Yeah.
And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was like, I'm just going to fucking blurt in my pants. Like, that's crazy.
You've been to
Easter is cancelled itself. That's the fucking tune I was thinking of.
I was thinking of the other one, fucking How Can I Lose Your Love? That's the other one.
That's a belter, man.
Yeah. Fucking tune.
That's her tune on that album, but
brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm just going through my night shift list here, boy.
We Are the Guitar Men is very, very silly. I'm into it. Like, did you hear the live? I just remember they have a live album there. It's fucking pretty cool too. Live at Hammersmith.
The August live album. No.
Yeah, it was like just the one before the release before Easter is cancelled. It's well good.
I unknown have their drummer they had for a while.
Oh, who was a girl?
Emily something. I didn't realize for the last year and a half I was following her Instagram page for updates and stuff before I even realized she was in
this anymore. It's fucking Taylor's son now. Like, how you were just like, how can this band get any more glam or any more like inextricably linked to Queen? And you're just like, oh, Roger Taylor's son in the band, and like him and Justin do all the interviews together now. Like the 2 of them were like big mates. Like, and they're just Christ, it's a good album. Christ, they're a good band. Fucking hell. Keep delivering. It's been the best comeback in rock. Like, coming out of the blocks with Permission to Land, then following up with One Fucking Ticket, like, which is, shall we say, a challenging album for fans of Permission to Land. And then, but like, pulled it back big time, and like, I'm not even just saying that as a fucking nut writer. Like, I would tell you if I didn't think one album was as good. I would say every single time I get a new Darkness album, there's a week after I first hear it where I don't like it, and I start to question like whether or not my entire taste in music is completely ridiculous and what am I doing in my life. But then I hear it in a different light one day, and it's just like, fucking hell, they've done it again. Like, and it was that way with Alter Bridge up until their last album, but it kind of left me cold, and still does a little bit, just to
Some
throw
bands will
shade
win
at
like
one of
that.
my favorite bands for no reason. Fucking hell.
Well, it happens like that because after Permission to Land, I wasn't a big fan of anything else they were doing, and then I really liked, obviously from one of the last times we were talking, like Stone Gods and shit. So in my head, I'm like, they had to beat the Stone Gods album, and they only beat them whenever they did the Last for a Kind album. So I was like, okay, lads, you did it, fair play.
On Pinewood Smile, there's a tune with a fucking huge riff called Buccaneers of Hispaniola, and it is a fucking anthem. I was so big into that tune. I haven't heard it in fucking ages. Must get it on. I'll say one thing. I'm enjoying having Spotify. I never thought I was going to. I still think that there are times when whatever like compression algorithm or whatever is applied to it. For heavy metal, it's like, it'll be like quiet part of a song, loud part of a song, and the volume doesn't change. And it's like, no, that's supposed to be like a big fucking swelling, life affirming, bang your head, throw the horns, fucking get into it metal song. Like, but
I know it's some albums do suffer on it, and like even like a classic one that should not sound so compressed. Like if you listen to the Cowboys from Hell version they have on Spotify, everything just feels like so fucking tight. It's just weird. There's no real breath
something not
at
right.
all. Yeah,
feels wrong. Yeah,
it sounds tinny. It's just weird.
Well, this is it, man. This is where the Pirate Bay and having an iPod Classic 160 gigabytes is a fucking music fan and nerd's fucking dream. Like, I am never going to fill that bad boy up, because I'm just being selective with it. I'm not, like, putting my entire collection on. I'm just
you're just putting jams on.
My album, yeah. And no, I've never taken anything off, so it is built up. It's built up very nicely. But that's, like, you need the dynamics in certain rock bands just to be perfect, like, and you can't have stuff fucking about with it. That's why some stuff is just a difficult listen on things. So actually, one of the bands I was going to talk about here, two of them actually suffer badly, but I know I've recommended these guys to you. I don't know if you've taken the time to listen to them. I don't care, but I'm going to double down on it for you
right
now. Puppy, their album's called The Goat. It's bright pink with like a satanic ritual on the cover. It's fucking beautiful cover. I'm really, really here for the cover. Like, I wonder would my mum let me get it and put it up in the house here somewhere.
Above the hearth.
Probably not. Like, she's we've got a very different vibe going on in here. It's all about cacti. I'll show you at some stage without wrecking the setup. So I don't know about a bright pink album, but look, this is like.
But that's just pure. The Buzz logo at one point was just a bright pink and everything, wasn't it?
Still have the bright pink mic sock, like, so it's all about branding, baby. But I think when I finally, which I'm hoping that this is the fucking thing that gets me off my ass to do it, to restart just having a solo podcast, just as something to do for an hour a week, you know what I mean? The branding, the visual style is going to be sticker bombing, like Ginger Wildhearts guitar. Yeah. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. More to come on that. I think I'm just going to sit down with the microphone at some night this week and just
batter on.
Well, like 2 or 3 years ago, I made it my New Year's resolution to just to read more books, because like I was reading a lot of comics and like fucking online articles and stuff. It's just like the act of sitting down and fucking reading a book. It's like
it's heavy.
There's a certain tiny but not insignificant mental victory in like just fucking making that time for yourself to sit and read a book, which is not giving you like anywhere near as much fucking dopamine as just sitting going through your phone or watching telly or anything is. So it's kind of like, it's been good, but it's been super rewarding. I've read a bunch of really, really cool stuff. I'll not fucking talk your ear off about it now, but it was a good New Year's resolution to make, and I'm fucking happy about it. Read a whole bunch of good shit. Looking forward to starting a new podcast, having a fucking creative outlet, and then like I'm 100%. I would be super happy to do this more often as well, though. Like, this has been fun. And
this is like fucking therapy for you at this point.
Well, this is good, man, because like, although I have a few like rock friends over here, like I definitely don't have a fucking metal friend that is reliable yet, because like, there's a certain ease and end of people to let them know, that you listen to music that goes blah 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 blah. Like
I know, it's one of those things, like either they're going to you're going to push them in, or you're going to get a big push back from them. It's just like, no, It's
and I just keep liking more and more growly stuff that I find. What was I listening to? Like that, any of the new Lamb of God stuff is really fun. Like it sounds like,
what the fuck is going on with Lamb of God these days, though?
yeah. Here's the thing, though.
Chris Adler's gone and everything.
It's missing Chris Adler. No, Chris Adler. Okay, let's talk for a second about how. And I don't know how this didn't come up for us before because this came out in 2017. But let's talk about how Chris Adler joined Nitro.
When?
He joined fucking Nitro in like 2016, 2017, and they were supposed to record an album. So they fucking broke up, the whole thing went to shit. But Adler, so it was Adler, Jim Gillette, and Michelangelo Badio, and Victor Wooten, you know, the funk bass player. He's like a fucking shredding, fucking slapping virtuoso bass player. Like, so like just like this would have been tech fucking glam rock. This would have been bonkers. But then only one single came out, and then Jim Gillette, you know, from Nitro, like who used to do fucking Scream when the glass would shatter, like he's doing like a fucking death metal swamp vocal, and Adler was fucking pumping it, dude. It's called, I don't know, I do not know. I only heard it yesterday for the first time, but for whatever reason, I was on the Michelangelo Badio Wikipedia page, and then it was like singles, and there was like one by Nitro in 2017. I was like, Nitro put out a single in 2017.
Yeah, that's
what? But yeah, so that's a fucking laugh. Like you gotta hear that track, man. It's fucking craziness. And I was reading the fucking
2017. That's around the same time he did the Dystopia album, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Dystopia is 2016, if I'm not mistaken, right? So he's actually cut him.
That's a long time ago, boy.
It feels like a long time ago, but it feels like we would have had a Megadeth album sooner if Dave didn't get throat cancer. Thank God he fucking survived that. Wonder will he be able to sing now?
Well, here, apparently he's back on the fucking smoke and everything, though.
I seen that he was in the studio, though. Metal Sucks had it up. They were posting the picture of him in the studio.
He love me some Dave, boy.
So, yeah, well, man, I just hope we get one more album from... Oh, well, I suppose it wouldn't even be with Adler, but imagine it was with Adler. Imagine they were just like, that boy that tours with them, just like, listen, you're a great lad, but we're going to need you to chill out for about 4 to 5 weeks.
What do you call him? Dirk Bergen.
Oh, man, I don't know.
I can't pronounce it, but
he is crackers.
Though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's better than the new Lamb of God drummer, I would say. The Lamb of God. Do you feel that there's something lacking in the new Lamb of God tunes? The guitar playing is off the charts as usual. Don't get me wrong. Those two boys can throw it down, like. But
I'm expecting the other Adler brother to walk out at some point. I just feel it because it just seems to be at this point the biggest focus for that band for the last couple of years has just been nothing but Randy. It just seems like it's the Randy Blythe project since he got out of prison. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'll be interested to hear their album. It's going to come out this month, right?
Yeah, well, again, depending on everything being delayed because of distribution and shit. Like, so, I don't know, because I haven't even heard any singles being dropped yet. Unless I've just...
There's like 3. There's like 3 of them.
Is there? I completely
blasted them, like. There's Memento Mori, and there's a fucking... Maybe there's just 2.
Are the lyric videos or the actually?
No, one's a real good video with like zombies and shit.
Oh, fair enough. Well, if there's a taster out there, at least check it out of interest.
Let me know. Like, so you fucking make the Lamb of God singles your homework, and at some point this week I'll listen to Fear Inoculum and we'll get back together. But let's say let me give you more details about why the fucking Poppy album is just fucking ridiculous. Like, if you like Royal Blood. If you like Turbo Wolf, if you like fucking, you know, little bands that play guitars, like, you know, called Black Sabbath or Rage Against the Machine, or like, you know, Pumpkins or Muse, anybody that just loves to riff out, like, these songs.
Scorpion Child.
Yeah, Scorpion Child were a quality band, but this is just riff-centric, good old fucking... I don't even know, like, it'd be hard to put a genre tag on it, but, like, it definitely exists in a post-grunge environment because, you know, it's got weird, like, metal, but also pop influences going on. The song, Just Like You, is incredible. It is the best song. Like, it's just like, it's like, what would Royal Blood be if they had a guitar player? A lot of times, I think it really answers that question, like, and it's fucking real cool for doing that. But a lot of the songs have like very different vibes. Like, you know, you might not think that some of these songs would come from the same band or the same album, but like, I just think it's real cool to hear a band that can go in these different little directions. Even though there's some songs that I'm just not as cool about as really as other ones, but like when this album kicks, it is fucking great, and I'd say it's like 80% all good, strong tracks.
How'd you find them, or was it just backing up someone else?
They were Turbo Wolf support act.
Ah.
So it's like, yeah, okay, fair enough. Let's go.
Over in Vancouver, or?
No, I still haven't got to see Turbo Wolf, unfortunately for me. I was even wearing a fucking Turbo Wolf t-shirt this morning, but now I'm in pulp riction after fucking yoga class. So, I want to get as well. Did you see any bands putting out any cool shit during lockdown? What I want to get is so it's the Revocation logo in blue, and then it's like a skull, but it has a same blue mask on it, and then it just says "Stay Home" on the back. So I think that's pretty cool. I might get that.
There's only been a few I've seen. The Metallica one obviously goes without saying, because how the fuck was I not going to see that? They did like a. It looks like it's done like a Skype session, but obviously they've recorded the bits in between and put it together. But it's an acoustic rendition of Blackened.
Oh yeah, I turned that off.
a lot of people did.
What the fuck are you boys doing?
After a couple of watches and the bubble bursting on me, I was kind of just like, right. To be honest, I'm sitting there going like, it was something nice to see. I'm just like, I'll put it in the nice pile. It's by no means it doesn't do the song Blackened any service, but
it's just not one of their songs that have ever been like, oh, that'll probably sound cool with acoustic parts.
But this is the thing, they've done. Is it the not? Oh, what do you call him? Anyway, fuck his name anyway. But they've done acoustic sessions over the years where they've done things like Disposable Heroes acoustic and not the way you would think it. And all within my hands off Sin Anger, now done acoustically, is way better than anything on Sin Anger. It's just like, what the fuck? But they can pull out a fucking turd like and polish it sometimes. But the Blackened one, I was just like, it was just different. It was just nice, something to see that even Metallica would sit down and try and do something to keep people happy for a while. Like, but Clutch have been doing a good few live sessions though. I did a lot of covers last wee while. I did a cover of Fortune Son, which was kind of fucking cool.
Oh no way!
Oh man,
the last person I saw cover Fortunate Son was Kid Rock. I watched Kid Rock's entire Woodstock set. Man,
what, 99 or?
Yeah, Woodstock 99. Like fucking, it's just crazy. Like I know people just don't understand how I like it so much, but like it's just something mental about watching.
I grew up with like the history of rock.
Yeah, but for me, it's Devil Without a Cause is the album. Like, but there's a line to be drawn from like the Allman Brothers, the Lynyrd Skynyrd, the Kid Rock, you know, but it goes by way of some other interesting bands like Run DMC and shit. So, but like as I say, I recognize for an absolute fact that he's just a complete egomaniac. Fucking probably doesn't even believe in half the stuff that he's doing. But like, there's a bit in this Woodstock set where like he gets behind the drum kit and all, and then like the guitar player's still holding the guitar, but it's like Kid Rock playing it, and like there's just a whole bunch of that. There's a bit where he goes and does a fucking scratch solo on the decks and everything at the DJ's booth. But it's cool because like I'd seen it before when YouTube was only 10-minute long videos and watched it in like 10 parts, but now some absolute saint has put it all up, so it was a good watch. Tell you what, it's a better watch than Jamiroquai's set at Woodstock 99. Did you realise they played?
Jamiroquai, I don't know what it is about them, but they're always very dodgy when it comes to live stuff. Either either he's on point or they're not. And
no, studio recording's belting.
Oh, he's fucking phenomenal. But then again, like I still think, not saying he's overrated, I still think everyone just thinks, oh, it's Jamiroquai, it's going to be grand, it's going to be solid, but he still throws out some dodgy shit every so often that needs to be addressed. Like,
yeah, definitely.
He's not impervious. Like, I mean, I love the man running around with a fucking Indian headrest in like black light rooms all the time. But I mean, the dude needs to get up off his own arse sometimes. Like,
the man can dance. The man can dance. I'll say that much. I don't think I've ever looked at another man and just been like, God damn, that man can dance. Like, yeah, just like, but that boy can move. Like the Deeper Underground video. Are you kidding me?
Oh fuck! Over here, the only things that are coming out regularly enough during the quarantine is every like Tuesday and Saturday night. There's usually a hockey game, an old classic hockey game being fucking shown on NHL on YouTube, and then like Metallica's been doing on Monday nights. There's a random gig that they put up.
Oh,
With,
has there been any real good ones yet? I've seen
the first one they put up was the Slaying gig that we were at last year. I was just like, fucking brilliant, lads.
happy
100%.
days.
And then like some Black Album fucking gigs and
Yes,
some,
I've
like,
heard of some
stuff.
Black Album tour shows, which I might watch. Saying as I was at it. Oh, nice. Bring back the memories. But yeah, get Puppies on, you bastard. You have to listen to them, right? They sound like Royal Blood with a guitar player. Can't tell them any better. Good album. A lot of different vibes going on. Doomy in a little part, poppy in a lot of parts. Like if you're waiting for a new Turbo Wolf album, get after it. Like, and then the While She Sleeps album was just like. So their last album, I just couldn't believe it, like, because they were like a run-of-the-mill average metalcore band that just played metalcore all the time. And then on the last album, You Are We, they like brought in a lot more like little acoustic guitars, sing-along choruses, clean guitar parts, actual singing instead of screaming, and like generally got a little bit softer, but it just meant then that the heavy sections slapped so much more. And like,
what's that keyword again that always gets thrown around our podcast? Dynamics.
Dynamics as ever, yeah. So they're back. They're more dynamic than ever. They've got like real weird fucking pop influences in places. Like the main tune on the album, the title track, "The Guilty Party," is built around this. I don't know what it comes from, and I don't want to look it up either because I want to remember for myself. But it's a '90s pop tune. It's like definitely a song that me and you like would not like, would turn our noses up at if it came on at a party, like, you know, because it's that fucking '90s saccharine pop, but it's like slowed down, and then it comes in with a female choir vocal. What was it about female choir vocals last year? Because the Slipknot lead single had a fucking female choir in the background, and it was fucking awesome. But look, I can't say enough good things about this While She Sleeps album. Weird electronic and pop influences aside, like there's just, again, when they break out into a fucking riff off, like they are fucking so good at it. They play a brand of metalcore that's, I would argue, has more hardcore in the mix than metal a lot of the time, and like drummers doing a lot of interesting stuff on this album. Reminds me of Let Live, especially on the opening track. There's little drum fills, and they're fucking around with the song structures. There's a cheerleader chant in the last tune. Man, I always love a cheerleader chant in a metal song. Like
Aunt Lisa and shit.
Yes, but Mastodon do it because like it's just like, you know, then that you're fucking the band that you love or know how to have a good time. Like, you know, it's fucking silly. It's over the top.
Yeah, it's over the top. If you're out and about somewhere and that comes on, you're just like, no, I'm not clapping along.
I'm like. So this again also has a great flow in terms of being like paced well, having a side A and a side B. There's no Ollie Sykes guest vocal to hold this album back this time. I don't think there's any guests on it. I think there's just all them. They do everything themselves. They at one stage crowdfunded like a warehouse / studio. So like once they did that, then they've just been in there battening down the hatches and putting out. Yeah, fucking dynamite records, but I think they also built themselves a half pipe in there because it shows up in a lot of their videos.
Oh, nice.
So like, my dog's fucking barking his head off here. Teddy, shut up!
Teddy?
Yeah, well, that's the girlfriend's dog, like Theodore. To give him his full title. Just a downstairs neighbour coming back into his own house. Teddy's not happy. Rude.
He's just on patrol, boy. I just checking there. I got a wee message off Decky, and I was talking to JP as well the other night. So the lads were all asking how you're getting on, and they were looking forward to seeing you back on to see what the crack is like.
Here in the updates. I'm thriving over here now, so like I want to get more involved in going to fucking metal shows. And as I say, I was preparing to make that fucking financial commitment, and then I got my legs cut off at the knees. So for the first like year or so over here, I had a job. I took a job. Just to have a job, like, and I never really realized that I was getting paid like fucking nothing, man. I was just like, wow, Vancouver's really expensive, but I was getting just wasn't getting a great deal for myself. So I got a new job, fucking, then me and the woman moved into a fucking new apartment over here where we've got out the back space where we can be out there. That's what I'm saying, that's where the rocking chair is gonna go. Be out there,
Nice.
fucking hang joints, like don't even need to go downstairs or anything anymore at night time. But like we've got it rigged up with like fairy lights and fucking the candles.
Of course, there's fucking fairy lights.
Fairy lights, candle. Well, it's a girl lives here, and the candles to scare the bugs away and all. And like, so we're fucking bunch of plants. My mom's obsessed with plants, but I like it too because it makes the place real zen. Like, there's just greenery everywhere, and they're all like cacti and succulents, so it's not like real hard plants that we have to actually worry about. Like, so it's pretty.
It doesn't
sweet.
work in the vibe in this room at the minute, so I'm just like, nah.
Oh man, you could get some gnarly succulents and have it up there, little cool ones like a zebra plant or something, and you literally have to water that bad boy once a month. You are good. Like, and then
But
so
just
what I was
spit at
doing,
it once a month.
yeah, but listen, you got to look at it as like a little bit of a hobby, right? So what we do, I thought of this. I was like, right, so how can I pique my own interest in houseplants, and how can I make this like a thing to do to fucking unwind sometimes, you know? Right. So what I do is I go to the dollar store and I get like a toy, like, so the dollar stores over here have like Star Wars action figures coming out the ass, like, so I'm a little bit better off than like you guys would be at home. God, yes. But then I also got myself the McFarlane toys, Viserion Ice Dragon from Game of Thrones. So what I did was just build them little things like that. They look like he flies over as like all little fucking cacti in there. Yeah, and it has a wall and all. It's half knocked down, and then so that's sweet. So what I do is like when I have all my bits that I'm going to put together and build this thing, get right. Can't stress this enough. Like get high, right? Put on not the soundtrack. Okay,
underlined and written in bold that last bit. Just
yeah, get bombed, right? But then also fucking not the music, the ambience, right? Look up the ambience from whatever the fucking thing is that you're making. Like, so if it's like Game of Thrones ambience, look for like The Wall and The Night's Watch and that type of stuff. And then it's like way creepy. And then if you're just baked enough and you start sinking to thinking that you're in The Night's Watch, like, or whatever. But and then that's good, but also be careful if you are fucking working with cacti, because like sometimes those suckers get the fuck in there, and it's
I've got one on the window. To be fair, I've actually got one on the windowsill, and I keep forgetting about it. It just stays there for life. And every so often, whenever I bought it, I thought it was a smart arse, so I put it up on top of the wee tray in the car, driving on. As soon as I hit the first fucking traffic lights, hit the brakes, boom, on top of my hand. So
yeah, so sore. I can only imagine. Yeah, there's a Ghost Euphorbias over there. Fucking got like they're huge, big suckers on them. So here, what we're talking about before I had to go and fucking see to the dog. Oh yeah, While She Sleeps. If you fucking like metalcore, fucking get into it. And if you don't think metalcore is a dirty word, and I did until While She Sleeps came along, get after it. It's a fucking great one.
Well, to be fair, with the bit of a hardcore mix on some of the other suggestions, I mean, sure, even one of the last things you suggested to me that I did check out properly was like Iron Reagan.
Oh, they're always a good time.
Miserable Failure and everything was fucking tight. It was just chunky, but you're just like some of the title tracks. If you put some of the title tracks up on social media anyway, people think there's something wrong with you. That's why I don't share things like suicidal tendencies and fucking certain things. People just like read into it too much. Like, but Iron Reagan were a good fucking shout out.
And we're not the problem anyway. Heads like you and me that have like fucking thrash heads. Like, so these fucking lunatics that are into black metal that we need to watch out for. These are the people that are gonna fucking shoot up schools. Like,
do you want to hear one of the best ones? Me and JP were listening to a load of Cannibal Corpse one night, about a month or two ago, before this all started locking down. And we were listening looking through a few of the tracks and just laughing at some of the fucking titles. One of the best metal. Fucking, if you gave someone this title track, they're gonna just fucking stare at you. It's Followed Home, Then Killed. Like, just the name is just gonna make you like
today. No, you get Me Too'd straight away.
But that's the thing about it. As fucking stupid as some of those songs and bands, to be fair, are, you need them because it's the idiots in the street. They think we're into this. We're like, no, listen to this actual nice stuff here instead. It's just like.
that's just instantly what people hear. Like all fucking Joe Civilian knows about death metal is Cannibal Corpse showing up in Ace Ventura, and that's it. And it's just like, yeah, but that's it on 10. Like that's it on 10. You know, we're talking about the ones, the twos, the threes over here. Like,
do you ever listen to like things like Funeral, like the fucking really slow doomy death metal stuff? It's just like you have to get
some doom is like real cool though. Like fucking what's that band called? Their album cover is off the charts. Paul Bearer, I like. Electric Wizard, I think, is fucking sick. I suppose that's not really funeral doom, that's stoner doom, but
it's that kind of balance of them. Like they are way more doomy than you are stoner.
Yeah,
to be fair.
the slow stuff is just like it's heavier in a way. It's like fucking overpowering. It's like, oh my god, it's put you in a bad mood nearly sometimes. And then black metal, I do not understand. Like it's definitely not for Big D. Like, but more power to anybody that's out there making it. Like, fucking go for it, boys. Because all of their album covers and all are all just fucking hilarious to me. Did you ever see Lords of Chaos?
Lords of Chaos. The Mayhem film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it because I'm not a big Mayhem fan, to be fair. So I'm just like, I don't know. And to be heard, I watched that documentary, the band called Fear, just for the band called Fear, the black lads in New York, the really old school version of that fucking kind of music. But I'm not a big fan of it, to be fair.
No, I am definitely not into black metal.
The closest I would have watched was the Coroner documentary that one of my mates suggested to me. It was pretty cool, but even halfway through it, I'm like, all right, you know what? I've heard enough. I get it. I get the vibe. I think I've heard the best tracks. I'm not even going to listen to the rest. It was too much to listen to.
Yeah. Well, I would say I still watch Lords of Chaos because the story of how, like, that's where it all started, with good reason, because there's a bunch of fucking murder and suicide and the whole lot with the whole story. And a lot of churches do get burnt down. Like,
that's your man Neil. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name. Your man, that you always see that picture of him in the court case, just pure smirking, the fucking church burner.
Oh, that's your boy Vorg, yeah.
Asshole, yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, so it's like the dynamic in it is, so there's the boy that runs the record shop that Mayhem chord underneath, and he's Mayhem's bass player or whatever. Or I don't know. And then the young fella, Vorg, shows up from France, took all his parents' money and came over here and like wanted to get help making black metal music. So it's about how them two never got on and why fucking thing ultimately stabbed thing. So good show though, funny at times, has a fucking definite sense of humor, which I was not expecting.
Better than the Dirt.
I didn't watch the Dirt. I heard it was just like fucking a throwaway.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but it was definitely very lax in facts. I mean, there was a lot of like romanticizing of the band at times. Like,
couldn't be madder than the book. Simply could not be madder than the book. So I don't know why I really need to watch the Dirt movie.
I'd say if you watched it, you'll just be nitpicking like fuck. So I'd say avoid it.
Definitely.
Who else did you have on your list there for 2019?
Slipknot's album I liked, but it's weird. I'm not going to say it's not weird, and I'm not sure that there's maybe one, but I'm not sure that there's a good chorus on the entire album. So it's just like, excuse me, Corey Taylor, what are you doing? Why are you not fucking putting the big shift in for the chorus? You know, why does the tune just sort of should get to the chorus and then like blow up a bit or slow down or should change noticeably a little bit? But I don't know, just guess I'm not really into the choruses on it, but it's weird how there's like a piano and all on one track.
But sure, Grey album had a lot of that kind of stuff as well, but I think this time round, listen, anything I've heard so far off the new album, it just sounds like, right, they're trying to change their sound for doing live stuff from now on, because there's no way those lads are going to continue doing those full crunch fucking head banging sessions for an entire show. Like,
definitely,
you know what I mean? Those days are long over. I mean, when we went to see them a couple of years ago with Korn backing them up, Korn were far fucking better. Slipknot were just there. You know what I mean? It just didn't make any real impact. I say what I've heard off the new album so far definitely sounds pretty cool, but I'd say it's just going to sound way better live than it is probably on the record. So I'm not. I don't know. The days of actually me really liking Slipknot are long gone, boy. Long gone. I think after the masks came off, I was kind of just like, lads, you ruined it. Like I'm done.
Yeah, well, I think it's just there's a few interesting different things going on, but I just don't think that there's any like super radio ready tunes, which is like not maybe what you immediately think about, but that's what they were all about for a while.
The lads need to sit down and watch, like, remember that old home video, Welcome to the Neighborhood or something? They need to just sit down and watch the old shows and just remember, lads, we used to be cool.
Yeah, this used to be actually fucking dangerous. Like,
man, I used to get so much shit back in the day in school and everything for having the self-titled album and listening to Eyeless full whack and everything, and you had a chance.
Yeah, because people would have thought you were crazy, like, because that's how that sounded, like.
Whereas now, like, you don't get that with any of the Slipknot albums. You can just, I can play that full whack here, no one give a shit. Like, where I'm just like, back in the day, it was almost sound like someone was fucking getting murdered. You're just like, right, turn that shit down a bit. And
yeah, it's definitely more clinical now, like, and that's definitely a problem.
And with Trivium, to be fair as well, Trivium's new shit is just weird. I don't know what's going on at the minute. It's just like they seem to be always, every album comes out, they seem to rebrand, like change their logo and change the way they're presented. It's just weird. What the fuck's going on with that? I'm just like, right, lads, what are you now? Go back to Crusade, like, let on fucking thrash metal stuff. I'm happy enough for that. Leave it there.
They usually get me though with one song per album. Like, I really like
Black was cool, but
I really like Strife from Vengeance Falls. And I really like Silence in the Snow from the one after that.
Oh, the white cover and all that.
Yeah.
I remember it, but
they're trying to be Dio.
Yeah, man, to be fair, I keep checking back with them. The same thing even with Bulletproof Valentine and a few other bands. I'll check back every now and again just to think maybe they'll pull their socks up once more, but I'm just like, no.
Yeah, Bullet certainly won't. Fucking hell, that must be the least rewarding thing you do. Well,
once Moose left, I was like, I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, thankfully I never got involved there. Yeah, I'd say it's slim pickings over with them. I tell you who put out a great album last year. You will be unsurprised to hear me say this: the Wildhearts. The comeback after fucking 10 years of fucking doing God knows what, just putting out endless fucking solo music. They finally got their acts together, and it is, man, it's so great. Like, it's just like, as ever, when I hear the Wildhearts, I'm just like, fucking yes, that is what guitars.
That's just bias.
Like.
You actually were impressed, like.
Yeah, all unbelievable. Like, fucking, there's the track in the middle, just that closes out side A, and it's called Diagnosis, and it is fucking massive. Like, it is really, really big. Lots of riffs. Fucking the drummer Richie fucking Battersby, like, he fucking has a career best performance on this track. It's like pummeling. It's like fucking, it's fucking less fucking percussion and more fucking artillery. Like, it is just like explosively good. And then it's like Ginger just being in full fucking like mental health zealot form, fucking raging against pharmaceutical companies and doctors and the fucking all this shit about, and just fucking sending out his own message to people about mental health, like, and then just gang vocals, like the sort of shit that could be shouted at a fucking soccer match, like, and just a good fucking time. There's a tasty bit of lead work somewhere in the second half of the album. There's a great tune called My Kind of Movie where Ginger squeezes in a couple of weird nods to Takashi Miike, you know, the Japanese horror director, and it's just like, did I just hear the name Takashi
That's an odd
Miike?
brand.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool, but it's in the middle of this like super poppy tune, and then I think CJ has a right credit on the album. Yeah, they fucking played Belfast in January, and I'm stuck over here in shitty Canada. Oh, I don't mean that. I fucking love living in Canada now. It's savage, man. Going to the shop and buying weed is just crazy good fun. Like, just every time. Like, so just check out
a photo once of a vent machine or something, I think.
Yeah, there was definitely vent machine that had weed in it. Like, there's sometimes dispensaries have those, you know, if you just can't be arsed standing in the queue, like. So and then when over in that new one last night, and they have like I think it's a peach flavored iced tea, which has fucking THC distillate in it, so that's bound to fucking knock you out. There's 100 milligrams of THC gummies on the go for $5. I had gummy bears that were like, 6 milligrams each, I think it was, but you get like 28 in the bags. So by the time, yeah, so it's crazy. I don't really get dabble too much further than just getting nice flour, like, because fucking like concentrates and stuff, like, what are you doing then at that stage? Like, you're just blasting your fucking cannabinoid system, and there's just like you're never gonna recover from that. Like, but yeah, it's so good. Fucking Canada, good spot. Was, as I say, hoping to get to see fucking Archspire, that fucking tech death band that are from here. But there's metal's pretty well served here. Like, as I say, Monster Magnet were coming. Missed a bunch of cool bands while I was working a job that wasn't paying me any money. Who did I miss? Well, I could have bought a bunch of tickets and stuff. Did Korn play? I want to say Korn played. Me and Danny went to see Kiss. We got the worst seats in the Rogers Arena, man. I mean, center stage.
Like pure retro set.
Back row nosebleeds. Like, man, it was pretty fucking good all the same. Like, we got
just
super
to say you saw them, like.
Yeah, and then, like, it was a pretty good fucking set list. They're on pretty good form right now.
Is this mainly the farewell stuff?
Yeah, well, it's one of their farewell tours, so apparently that's it now. It was pretty good. And saw Revocation backed up by the Rivers of Nile, who are like a very, very technical...
No more about Revocation, though. They're fucking pretty tight.
Yeah, they're fucking savage, man. It was so good to see them live. And then I had tickets and I was supposed to go see them in a co-headline with Voivod playing their new death metal album, Full. But I had to fucking miss that one. But hopefully it won't be too long till Revo come back. He's doing a different, like a grungy, weird jazz project now. Have you heard this?
No.
Diaz from Revocation is in another band now called Gargoyle, Gaorgoyl, which I think is real stupid. But
definitely have not heard that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I like it, but apparently there's a full length coming from them now. They put out 2 singles, and then maybe, but like I'm sure there'll be some fucking weird, interesting guitar playing going on. So it'll probably be
hoping.
Yeah, I'm hoping, but then hopefully also a bunch of bands just get their fucking act together, get their fingers out of their arses during this pandemic, and just fucking write, like, just get some stuff fucking put on tape, like I bet you Dave Grohl's fucking up to his eyes fucking writing. Sure, he had to start a second Instagram to write down some of his stories. Did you see those yet?
No. Dude, what the fuck? No.
At Dave's True Stories on Instagram, and it's like all 10 fucking sliders, all text posts. Yeah, but like telling the story of how he met and jammed with Prince one time, but like Prince never called him back. Described all of his interactions with David Bowie in one of them. Another one was about one of them's about fucking trying to meet Pantera and not being able to. You'll fucking love that.
I'll have to check that out, definitely.
And then so it's just that's been.
If anything, that man should have a podcast, like.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why doesn't he have a podcast? Like, it would probably just be the biggest podcast in the world. That'd be the problem.
He was on It's Electric, the fucking Lars Ulrich one at one point, but it was like an hour or 2 hours. We just sit there going like, man, you need to sit him down and just like listen.
Yeah, 5 hours at least. There needs to be fucking weed in the room. There's got to be PBR in the room. PBR is massive over here, bro. You would not believe it. Like, so when I went to see, like, we went to see Revocation, like the bar, it was like, I'll have a beer, and like everywhere in Vancouver, I mean everywhere, it's like, yeah, here's the menu, 3 pages, all locally brewed within 6 miles of wherever the menu is at any given time. And just like the beer scene is bonkers. But this one dive bar that has a death metal show in, it's just like, cans PBR, $5. It's just like,
just hand it over, done.
Yeah, happy days. Don't confuse me with any of that shite. I'm here for a simple kind of night. I'm gonna fucking drink this PBR, I'm gonna fucking headbang, and that's gonna be it. And dude, it was bonkers. I fucking hell, like me and who I was with were fucking standing there like, oh, this is fucking quiet. Like, we're gonna be right up front. We're gonna see everything. Man, see when the pit started, it was like, It's
Oh
like,
shit! This is
Jesus,
where.
like this is a tiny venue. Will you people please all conduct yourselves? But then, like, if you're into music that heavy, like, and I'm not like, I guess, like that into it. Like, I just think Revocation are cool.
Yeah.
Like, yes, moshing is life. So
Yeah, there's some
doesn't matter
bands. I
where
mean,
the
like,
venue is.
have you seen Slayer yet?
No, I
Live?
never saw Slayer.
And it's just
Barely
get
even listened to them, to tell you the truth. We should try more.
with gigs like Slayer and fucking Vader and who else were really bad? Devil Driver stuff. Like, I love some heavy shit like that. But you're sitting there going like, the people that go to those gigs really love that heavy shit.
Yeah, knuckle draggers though, like in mosh pits.
Absolute brow fucking beaters. But you're sitting there going like, it's not a good show to sit there and try and listen to, because all I want to do is just listen to the fucking music way back a bit. Even when you're way back, you're not way back. Everyone's fucking doing it, and it's just what the fuck. It's just I can't control that kind of shit, especially for gigs. It's just like, no. I mean, like in last year, I think the only 2 gigs I really went to was the Metallica one, because I wasn't gonna not fucking see it, and UFO. You know what I mean? Like I had tickets for Whitesnake. They got cancelled because of all this shit. I was getting tickets for Sunstroke, which was going to have fucking
Mastodon, Gojira, fuck, I don't know. You'll have to help me.
Fucking Faith No More and everything was going to be added. No, there was going to be a lot of fucking good bands, and they started going like,
It was
perfect.
cool.
And reluctantly, I was looking to buy, because by the time we get sent home from work, that was like the last week in March, and April's wage, I was going to be paying for Sunstroke. I was going to be paying for the Iron Maiden tickets. I didn't want to see Iron Maiden, but I got my arm twisted into going and seeing it. So I was like, right, okay, I'll get them at the end of the month. Once lockdown started, I was like, no, fuck this. I'm not buying any tickets.
Fuck Iron Maiden.
Fuck that.
Right in the fucking face.
Yeah.
And
one of the worst gigs I ever went to. It was just, I'm glad I got to see them, to say I saw them, but I'm just like, it was Dragon Force back in the month, who were shite, and everyone just was sitting there, I guess, here bored. And then Maiden were playing half-assed, and the set list was just right, okay. It was nothing special. It just felt like, oh, okay, lads. I could have just watched any better gig they put on YouTube. Like,
I do not fuck with Iron Maiden. Do not, have not, and will not fuck with Iron Maiden. Like, I'm just not interested.
No, it's
too many Union Jacks for my fucking liking. That's the problem.
Too many filler fucking tracks. That's my problem. There's like most albums, even Power Slave, one of their my favorite album up there. So there's 1 or 2 tracks from just like, just they're not for me. That's it.
So coming out this year, with the help of fucking God, we'll get a new Mastodon album.
Yes,
we're very early next year. Either way, it's not that far away. I don't feel like.
No, I think, see, especially with lockdown for them, I'd say it's perfect even for them to sit back and just go, do you know what? Maybe change a few wee things more, polish it a wee bit more. The more time those lads have to write stuff and tweak things, the fucking better. Because even though like Cold Dark Place was 3 tracks that they recorded during once More Around the Sun, and then they made Toe to Toes when they were doing Emperor's Sand, and then put it all out, wasn't it? I think that's the way it was done.
You're more of a Cold Dark Place expert than I.
I fucking love that wee EP. It took me a while to get into it, but see, once I got into it, I can't get rid of it, boy. It's brilliant.
What was I going to say to you? Yes, more time for Mastodon obviously would be great. Mm-hmm. But if Bill Kelleher has time to put up Riff of the Day videos every single day, I love
those.
He must be writing like a fucking machine. Like, cause all that man does is fucking write. Like what about that video? Like where he said like the fucking day that his mum died and the boys came around to practice in his basement, and they were like, right, well sure, we'll go home. And he's like, no, we're playing. We're playing today. Like, and that must have been bonkers. Like, so that man just.
You have to spill the beans to me about your fucking workshop you went to.
Yeah, well, so I went to see his workshop over here on fucking Commercial Drive in Vancouver. Like, easily one of the fucking 10 coolest fucking places on planet Earth. Like, it's got a bunch of fucking sick bars and knick-knack shops and fucking eateries. Like, the dopest fucking deep fried Nashville chicken sandwiches outside of fucking Nashville are definitely up here. Like, so it's a music shop in there. I'd never really been in it as a music shop, but when my younger brother was visiting last summer, he's a drummer. He was saying they've got crazy shit like cymbals. You
showed me stuff for your brother's band and everything before. There's one of the music videos now you showed me theirs.
Yeah, they're fucking, but
Yeah,
they
right.
split up then while one of them went to university in England, and Cormac was going to get started into a bunch of other projects. That's a whole other conversation. But the thing that he was so enamored with in this music shop was it was a symbol with all holes drilled through it, and then like
Yeah.
fucking things fucking nailed all through it to make like different shaky noises and all. So cool place. So got up there, Bill came out, and he fucking just like basically
How did you
let
get tickets for it, or what
it
was it?
was going to be tickets, right? But then like 2 weeks out, it was just like obviously weren't selling enough tickets, so they made it free. So I was like, right, happy days.
Oh,
I'll just go after
sweet.
work. So I went in at the front door. The boys are like, "Do you want to enter the raffle?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll enter the raffle." Is it for Bill Kelleher's signature guitar? And they were like, "No, it's not the signature, but it is a cool ESP." Like, so I was like, "All right, sweet, whatever.
Sweet.
How much?" And they were like, "Oh, the raffle's free also." I was like, "All right, cool." And so sat down. Bill comes out like and fucking rips through Sultan's Curse and Roots
Oh,
Remain
brilliant.
and fucking all his parts, like so no solos, but
Yeah.
whatever. But like just watching, just getting to see those things be played up close, like you know how intricate fucking Mastodon's guitar work is. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
Just real cool, and like especially like I think especially Sultan's Curse because there's something about that just being the start of the album and being I don't know, it's fucking so good. That big fucking planet-sized riff in the middle where it just changes then into the fucking squealing leads. Beautiful. And then like fucking next thing you know, there's a fucking raffle. I win the fucking guitar. I'm
It's
on
a
zero.
beautiful guitar.
I would venture to say there's probably a good chance I got fucking high before the whole thing. So like I was just like, oh snap, that's me. And like I was fucking up on stage getting pictures taken and all. And he's like, oh, you're from Ireland. And I was like, yeah, I'm from Ireland. He's like, what are you doing over here? And I was just like,
Because he's
fucking
he's part Irish, isn't he?
yeah, that's what he was saying to me then. It was oh Kelleher or something. They put on the worst Irish accent you
Oh
have
man.
ever heard. Like I was like, oh, you keep trying, pal. You keep trying. But then anyway, it was got the guitar and all, and then it was about to bounce, and I was like, fuck it, might as well fucking um get it signed, bam. So joined the back of the queue and hung out till the dead end, and then just stood there talking to him for a bit and was asking him about cool bits and clandestiny and stuff. And he was saying
Oh,
like,
sweet.
you know, that's him on guitar, but with so many effects at that stage, like just fucking really. I mean, there's synths in there as well, but like the majority of it is him. And then like it was cool. Like he had everybody's parts playing, like fucking bar the vocals.
Oh,
And
so he brought his own
he was
tracks and stuff to play
controlling
there.
this whole this big sort of like pedal rig because he activates all their live samples from that big rig. So it was cool to see that in person. And you know, just asking him then we were talking about like was it album he's saying album this year, but like I'd say with everything going on, there's maybe a chance that that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Um but like cool guy and then fucking as I say, free workshop on fucking one of the coolest places in town, like and then just fucking getting an ESP Telecaster from a Troubles, like pretty fucking nice. Haven't even
That's
taken it out of the box in the new house yet. Don't have an amp and it pains me because I don't can't like afford one or anything. Well maybe now that my trip back home is cancelled, maybe an amp might be a good investment. Get some fucking noodling done again, get back into learning some skills.
yeah. Or get guitar rig the plug-in shit. I use it every so often, so I just plug in to the interface the guitar and then play on the computer.
Yeah,
Boom.
this thing here will take XLRs and a 3.5 or a 6.7 jack, so we're pretty sweet there.
Fucking man, it's insane though because I remember because of the time difference. I remember sitting there getting all these messages one morning. It's like, what the fuck? Scrolling through, and it's this. It's almost like a flip book of you like shaking hands with the man. I was like,
Yeah, we're on
what is going
stage. The
on?
boy from
Yeah,
ESP's there, the boy that owns the shops there. Everyone's having crack and all. Yeah, it was fucking
Bill's on
good
his
time.
knees beside you, bowing. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is going on here? I was like, what? I was just like,
And
is
I
he taking the
couldn't
piss?
believe it. Like, I don't mean to downplay it at all because, but like,
No.
even just getting to see those tunes played up close was just like that was a fucking gift in and of itself. And then I just couldn't
Yeah.
even believe that happened. And then it was like, fuck, now I have to go down Commercial Drive, which has a whole bunch of homeless people living on it with a nice expensive guitar. Shit. Uh, that was a fun fucking trip home. Oh, fucking
Was he
45.
in town for gigs or something at that point, or just doing different spots? Or
We're just doing a couple of different spots on that on like a little mini tour of ESP clinics. I think he was down in Washington, Washington State next, in Seattle doing stuff. So, all just sponsored out the ass by ESP. So happy days.
fuck, man, it was just unreal. I mean, I remember just
Surreal as fuck,
trying to
man.
trying to explain this even to Declan and everyone just before what happened. I was just like, yeah, this is real. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, it's fucking crazy, and then got to get a picture taken with Cowboy Cerrone at UFC Vancouver as well. So it's just like, this place is fucking like, and it's cool as well because like Vancouver's not that big of a city, so like if there's stuff going on, no matter where you are, and the public transport's that good, like you're only a couple of bus rides or a train away, like from anywhere, and that's without even saying now the city's just got Uber, so it's like fucking like getting
You're
around
fine.
never been easier. Like, yeah, so it's super sweet over here.
Was
And
there
I'm
any
sure-
more?
I was going to say, I'm sure I'm missing a lot back home in Newry.
Absolutely nothing of
I heard
noteworthy.
when Friar Tuck's opened back up, the fucking the queue is absolutely massive.
Apparently, it was the. Believe it or not,
Fucking
I don't do takeaways and all that shit. So when I see all that, I'm like, you're lining up in the middle of the street like a fucking idiot for a burger. It's just like, really, are they really that good? I mean, like, it's.
Did you see the Boucher Road in Belfast backed
I
up
did
with
the
cars for
KFC.
KFC drive-through?
What?
Holy
Man.
fuck!
That is just. I mean, really, you're watching the video and you're like, right, okay, roughly about here is far enough, and then the video just goes on and on how long they're lined up. It's just like, for KFC, for food, really, like.
KFC's fucking shite too.
I don't know about that. That'd be the only one I
Oh,
would miss.
come on, shite. You want to get a fucking Wendy's Baconator? Oh my god! Over here, it's like easily the greasiest fast food burger on the planet. But like,
Did you ever go to Chip Company from Belfast?
Yeah, been there a few times.
Oh man, their steak baguettes are the dent. I kill a man for one. Just like, oh, they're brilliant.
Supposed to be making another batch of beer bread today. I want to go to the Offo and get there's a brewery around here has just released a raspberry wheat ale, so I'm going to use that instead of yeast to make bread.
You doing like bathtub beers and shit now?
Man, a homebrew kit is high up, and I want to make, what was it I was thinking about this morning? I was thinking a strawberry and balsamic vinegar sour beer might be the greatest thing on earth. Man, they have sour beers over here, right? And it's like a completely different and wild hit. It's like sweet and sour. They're a little bit stronger than regular beers usually, and they're just like, the sourness is so intense. So what I'll do is, like, if I'm getting 4 tall boys, 4 cans, I'll add a sour in on top of that as well, and then just like have it as a little bit of a palate cleanser, and then usually can crack it and leave it sitting and come back to it, and it's like, if it's a bit
It just
flat,
doesn't.
still super intense flavor. So yeah, that's one of the more hipster Vancouver additions to my life. That's fucking cool. But like, it's hard, like it sort of gets into you a wee bit, like, you know, only drink almond milk these days. Fuck
man, I'm on the coconut milk all the time now instead. Yeah, it's just like you get me changes.
You never throw anything out. There's a trading community online on Vancouver Facebook, and you can like swap things with people. So like, I got 2 old TVs from work. I used to work at a place that made museum exhibits, so they were going to throw them out. I saved them, and guy swapped me that for a PlayStation 3 and a smaller TV that fit inside my bedroom at the time. So it was just like happy, like, you know, stuff like that. It's a real zen fucking place. There's a lot of hippies. There's a lot of hipsters that are doing a lot worse stuff than just drinking almond milk. Don't get me wrong. Like, I seen this girl's profile the other day on Facebook. She was in the trading community looking to have her bike fully serviced in exchange for a potted spider plant, and people were all like, "Bike tune-ups are $100 at least." Like,
yeah.
And so I went to her profile, and then it was like last October she did the Inktober drawing challenge, where you get 30 words and you do a drawing every day. But she made it all about plus size women, so drew all plus size women. Right. And fucking then scanned them all and released them as a downloadable e-coloring book. So number one, how are you supposed to color in an ebook, right? That's a fucking shite idea for a start.
Good point. Unless you're not going to print that shit.
Like, of course she made it about plus size women. Like, you know, it's just fucking typical.
Stunning and brave.
Yeah, stunning and brave. But yeah, it's quite hippy dippy and forward thinking, whatever over here. Real strong Asian community over here. Asian dudes everywhere, but that brings a lot of interest in food choices, you know what I'm saying? So I'm eating fucking sushi a bunch, love sushi and Japanese. We got Vietnamese delivered last night because we went down to Portland, Oregon last year, which is even more hipster than Vancouver, dude. It is awesome. God, yeah. I loved it.
You're describing the complete opposite of basically Newry / Ireland altogether.
this is how opposite of Newry, Portland, Oregon is. Like the central feature in town is a gigantic 5 stories, and it has a basement bookstore.
That is completely different.
Dude, I bought everything George R. R. Martin ever wrote before Game of Thrones, all his old sci-fi. I'm powering through bits of it. I'm reading bits of Stephen King at the minute. I'm reading books on personal productivity. I'm fucking making the most of this pandemic. Well, trying to anyway.
You're trying to champion it.
Doing a lot of sitting on my whole fucking scrolling through my phone. Like, don't get me wrong. Doing a lot of fucking having minor arguments with the woman over stupid stuff. Like, do you have to be on me? Like, fucking get off, you know? But,
I seem to be the most unfazed person during this whole fucking thing. Everyone sees me checking in, going like, "How are you? How you coping?"
Is your life any different apart from you don't go to work?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the only difference.
That's great. Brilliant. You can just fucking podcast, listen to fucking records. I believe there's a record player in the house now.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always been collecting bits of records over the years, but never sat down and worked out all the ones I actually want. Like, I'm not going to be one of those guys that just gets every fucking album by like Motorhead and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I'm only
your salary.
No, not my salary, but I do go to record fairs and you can pick up some good ones there for cheap enough. And it's just more of a discipline.
Because you're getting a day out as well. You're going somewhere. You can fucking.
Man, that's the only thing that's actually pissed me off about the lockdown. Once a month on the last Saturday of every month, go to the record fair in Belfast. There was a hockey game on. Go get something to eat. Go get some stuff and fucking fresh garbage. The whole lot, all in one day. That was just the one thing I like doing once a month. And now
that's beautiful. That's like my little Saturday morning ritual. Yeah, it's just like having something that's routine that you can lock onto all week is a fucking.
I find soon that whole schedule of like that one day of getting everything done. I had that shit to a T. Now it's just like I have to start.
You gotta fill that time now. Fuck, I know. Or you could take the risk and be alone with your thoughts all day. It's just like
I don't want to go there.
I don't want to do that. Nope. No. I'll tell you what we'll do to wrap it up. Right, I'm gonna give you. Like, what's my top tip to listen to during this pandemic?
Oh, go for it.
And I haven't even written down the proper fucking name of it because I'm an idiot. But let me see. Let me see. Tell me Spotify's open. Yeah. We're on. The system works. The system fucking works. So, Spotify is a fucking dynamite resource. I keep being drawn to looking at myself in this fucking thing. I'm a fucking cunt.
I'm looking at either the microphone here.
Right, I'm going to look into the camera. I'm going to look into the camera, right? So, it's a banging resource for comedy albums, right? Like current comedians are putting out specials. No, like I'm talking about like current guys are putting out specials, but maybe before they were big enough to have specials. So like Theo Vaughan's got a cracking one up there called £30 Bag of Hamster Bones, and so this one is called Testicle Testaments #1. The Worst Day and the Best Day of My Life by Joey Coco Diaz. And dude, it's fucking great, right? It's like he comes out at the start and he says, I hope you didn't come here to see a comedy show because I'm taking you into the deep waters tonight.
What's a testicle?
Testicle Testaments. Just you'll find it, don't worry. But it's 4 tracks and each of them are like 20 minutes long. It's an hour-long headline set. And he tells the story in like real rich Joey Diaz detail, like of the day that he kidnapped your man and fucking got sent to jail, and the whole story, nothing is left out. Like, it's just fucking, and he's brilliant. Like, I don't care if you don't even like me by the end of this, but like, it's just so funny. Like, I can't even wrap my head around like how someone could steal so much, like just stealing all the time, getting involved in scams. Like, how do fucking people do this? Like, I'd just be scared off. I'd be like, no. Man, he was like, so anyway, it's complete craziness. If you're a fan of his comedy, you'll fucking love it. Like, or his appearances on podcasts.
What was that other one? The Black Tapes as well. I have to put that on my list.
The Black Tapes, like, is the best scripted podcast I've ever heard. It fucking terrified me. I would go out down the back lane near, at the bottom of my street where I live back home and up into the woods a little bit.
Oh yeah.
To be away from like cops and whatever else, and just be in there. Headphones in, because like you needed both headphones in to get the full, because like there's a bunch of like stereo stuff going on.
Oh, sweet.
It's extra creepy, and like it's just so well written. It's hooks you in like you will be on your edge of your seat or wherever you are on a bunch of occasions, and then it's like it's really really interesting. Like and like there's just you sort of start to think about how some of this might be possible and all, and then when it becomes like when you start to see all of the threads coming together at the end of season 3, you're just like, oh my god! And there's a few twists here and there where you're just like and there's one character who shows up and he's escaped from a mental institution. He's a proper disturbed wee cunt. And he keeps phoning the main character, and you hear it and all. And he's so creepy. It's got me on edge right now. But it's so good. It's a real visceral experience because like if you do it like I did, you're out somewhere scary at night doing something illegal. Like it was the perfect setup. Like it was so perfect. I'll never be able to recreate that. Like and then just one a night because they're 40 minutes long. Like they're fucking long. And listen to it, maybe speed it up a bit, like if you want. I listen to all podcasts at 1.2. Like I can't deal with 1x. Like I'm a go-getter, you know. I'm out there. I only have 55 minutes in an hour, like you know.
I know it's easier that way. Like you have to divide your time up with it because shows like that as well. Like I mean, fuck. As much as I love to keep up with as many podcasts as I can, I can't just like drop down 4 or 5 hours like that just to go through a few episodes. Like.
Especially now in quarantine, because like Skype podcasts are fine, are absolutely fine. Obviously, as we're doing one now, like, but sometimes you're just like, I'll just go and listen to whoever Joe Rogan has on because it's like the same beautiful audio it always was.
I know it works differently. Like, I mean, we're looking forward to obviously when all this shit is calmed down, we can get back together in person here with the lads and even jumping in and session with yourself again as well. Because
certainly,
as I said, they're easier setups because. I don't even know what the crack is. Like we tried to doing it with Declan when he was in Liverpool a few times, and it was just a nightmare trying to organise. But thankfully, the last few times I've done the podcast, did one with Kieran, did one with Sebastian. Fair play to the lads for coming on doing things, and it's just the next logical step. Get yourself back on for a few music rundowns, boy.
Yeah, sure, and. You know, whatever, like if I see any shitty movies. Oh, dude, I seen the worst fucking show there. A friend of mine over here, he's fucking from England, God love him. And he wanted to go see this band called the Glorious Sons, who are from Canada. And they're like a fucking watered down E Street band. You know, there's about 12 of them. Like I think they'll have a piano player and a keyboard player. Like, and
of course, why not?
Like, in fairness, to have one pretty strong tune, and I was like, okay, I'll go, and I'm sure, like, the rest of the
that got you hooked alone, like, just the one tune? Like.
Yeah, I was like, one tune stayed on. I was like, I was only going for my mate, like, I didn't really care.
No, you weren't fucking invested, like.
So, first lift, right? So, I will say this, okay? There was another band on the bill called Black Pistol Fire, who are a guitar and drums duo. They were savage. They were fucking great. They are like real garage rock, fast, in your face. Hard to say who they would remind you of, but they did a massive cover of Childish Gambino's Redbone with a gigantic wah all over it, like a solo in the middle. It was fucking a thing of beauty. They were so good as a duo, and then this fucking. It must have been about 18 of these cunts, and then
like
the front man came out straight up to the microphone and was like fucking mumbled something about somebody in the band's brother died that day, and demanded a moment of silence at the very start of a fucking rock show at a place with about 4,000 people in it. Like, I was like, what? And it didn't get any better from there. They played their good tune, like 3 tunes into, and then it was like fucking hell. So it was a long, hard one. And then I was just like, fuck this. And then security took absolutely everything off me. Fucking took a hip flask off me, took cans of beer off me, took fucking weed off me. It was fucking crazy. So I was like, right, I'm going before the rush because I want to make sure I get all my shit back
here. Did they just lift you by your fucking legs, or what did they do? Like, just
dude, they fucking checked everywhere. It was just like, come on, lads, you have to expect a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like the gigs back home here where you can just walk in, man. See for Metallica Slaying, just walk straight in, everything on, ready to go. Brilliant.
Dude, I believe it. I've been security at festivals.
That's right, you have. That's right.
Yeah, you know, securing the area, making people feel safe, fucking ensuring the customer experience. Right. Well, here maybe we'll leave it there then for today.
I think that's grand, man. This is a good wee run through. I know, man.
indeed.
I tell you what, I've got a bit of homework from you. I've got one album to give you to actually check out.
Sweet.
By a band called Horisont.
Okay.
And it's
gent
just a
band.
weird, it's just, they're fucking weird. It's like think of a load of mix of different old school classic rock bands, and everything's put together, like Deep Purple kind of stuff, and a lot of mellow kind of fucking tunes, but a nice mix of sounds. You have to just check it out for yourself. It's very old school sound. No, like Uncle Acid has that old school kind of vibe, but it's not that stonery kind of rock. It's more of a classic rock vibe.
Or Horizon with an E at the end, no?
Just a T. Horisont. And the album's called About...
Nice.
Yeah. And the album's called About Time.
All right. Got them.
I'll give you something to listen to. That track About Time, whenever there's a music video for it, it's pretty fucking cool, and check it out, see what you think of it. But I would definitely recommend it because it's just a different kind of fucking album to listen to.
Oh, for sure, I'll get that up on the speakers now in a second.
That's your homework.
Oh god, I've done something here. Oh no, you're back. Yeah, sweet. Well, I'll get that listened to. Oh, I have one more for you. Let me see. You'll like this because it's stoner rock, but it has shreddy solos, so it's actually more interesting than most stoner rock. Blessed as in Blessed, and the album is called, are you ready? This could be a line from Mandy. Beyond the Crimson Throne. You want to hear some of the track names?
That is pure.
Starts with The Black Gate is the first track. No, The White Wolf, The Black Gate, Heavy is the Crown, The Shadows, Ariok's Bargain, Finding the Limits, and then the last track is called, are you ready? Stormbringer.
Stormbringer? Is that the fucking Deep Purple cover or fucking...
No, that was Storm Rider, if I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe it is, but it's not a cover. It's their own tune. Like,
it's a pure like Tolkien fucking vibe going through all that, isn't it?
Yeah, the cover's bonkers as well. It's fucking fun time. Like, that's the best thing about fucking stoner rock bands half the time these days. Like, it's rare that you get a band whose music is actually interesting. That's just saying these guys like thrash out a little bit and have fucking solos.
There's
and
some
stuff.
sort of change in it.
A little bit more going on.
Man, throw a rock and you'll find like 20 fucking stoner rock bands on Spotify.
Easily,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's so easily done. Just like get high and just play a slow ass riff.
I know. But here for next time anyway, now that you've got Spotify on the go, I'll be able to send over a few different things back and forth and
straight
see
away.
what take it from there. But
we get a collaborative playlist on the go for this podcast or something along those lines. We'll integrate Spotify into our things.
That's handy enough because we used to do that beforehand, so very easily done. We can take that going forward, John.
Yeah, sweet.
100%. Well, here, I'll knock it off, but I'll have to crack you after for a wee bit anyway, sure.
All right, cool. See you soon, dude.
Well, sign off, boy.
Nice.